If podcast may contain language or subject matter that may not be suitable for kids.
And we're the best friends that anybody could have.
You've been fucking warned.
I drink liquor.
Go to our website at b3fpodcast.com for merch. Click on Tell Us What You Really Think to leave a completely anonymous review of each of us.
Oh, yeah, just a sick sucker is a like it.
Enjoy the show with cunts.
Hey, buddy. Oh, I forgot to hit the button. I was very focused
what's up?
on the TV, which I hit the button anyway.
I got you.
But how's it going?
It's going pretty good. I really do like the in-person more than the remote thing.
Do you?
I do. I like the in-person more than the energy's there. It's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
So what's the new thing when you go?
Well, that light is lighting me up, and you look like a red alcoholic on that screen.
Oh. So what is it the kids say now?
Slay. Yes, queen. All right.
What are we drinking, buddy?
We are drinking Jameson 18 year.
Oh, shit.
Because it's special.
It is special. Man. You know, it's funny. We just did this at a hotel. We're at another hotel because I happen to be in town working this time. And I have to say it has not been an enjoyable time working here.
Working in Knoxville?
Not in Loudon.
Well, okay.
Because it's fucking Loudon.
And that's it. That's all the Jameson.
But I'm happy that we're here together, spending some quality time.
Yeah.
Because we've been doing another show together from time to time.
Yeah,
but it's not really
you have now crept into my own personal things.
Were you at all like
no, actually I thought aside from concern of how your language would be on that show, because it's a very different show.
Yes.
Aside from that concern, I thought nice, things will be a little easier.
Yeah.
And I'm not alone.
This is true.
So,
cheers, by the
cheers.
way, sir.
Yeah. Whew.
I see you brought in the Letterkenny full swing.
I did, because I'm on it again for the third time. I'm on it.
It's a decent show.
Decent.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
You're right. Yeah, it's one of like 3 or 4 good things to come out of Canada.
Yeah. I just noticed that your name's on the top of this, which is upsetting.
That's fucking funny.
It's upsetting to me.
That's funny.
Why is that lighting you up so good?
Because it's pointed
I turned it towards me, so it'd be better.
Okay, well,
but
maybe I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
You have a hat on. That's one thing.
I'm gonna take my hat off.
All right, go for it. So anyway,
that's not better.
It's really not.
I don't care.
Okay, well,
because it covers. I like this angle too because we can both sit with our elbows up, and
I know.
it covers up the fucking guts.
It does, because I told you I'm so fat now that just the going into the office the last 2 days and a little extra walking, my knees are killing me.
Yeah, because you're fucking old and fat.
It's because I'm old.
You've caught up with me.
My
with fatness again.
I don't know, what are you at right now?
I'm not saying total weight. I'm talking about aesthetics.
Oh, okay, I got you. I see.
No, yeah. Last time I weighed in, I was 218.
Okay, so I'm still a little under you.
Yeah,
I'm a little under you.
Yeah, but if you go, percentage, you're also like 7 inches shorter than me. So
yeah.
I mean, your dick's probably 4 inches longer than mine.
Around. No,
you're rocking the old show.
I've got the vein of sausage can.
Mine might not be long, but it sure is skinny.
That's right. I was coming up the stairs tonight, getting ready to leave, and as I came up the stairs, I was like, "Oh!" And Krista said, "What is it?" And I was like, "I'm fucking old." She's like, "Well, yeah, but what is it?" And I was like, "I'm just walking up the stairs, and my Achilles just decided to hurt."
That's it.
Yeah.
So the room that we're in tonight is actually reserved by a softball team. The other conference room, and I talked to the guy at the front desk, and he was like, fuck it, it's fine, just go in there, set up at the back." So I'm half expecting like some coaches or some shit to come in and be like, "Why are you guys back there? And why is your language so bad?"
That would be and
then I'll be like, "Fuck your team."
Softball team, right?
Yeah.
Got any straight girls with you?
Great.
No.
That would be an apt question.
It would be. So speaking of straight and gay and all that, did you notice or did you see Tennessee passed the ban on public performances of drag,
which is insane.
Today goes into effect April 1st. Now that's either the best April Fool's joke ever, or
dude, Tennessee is progressing more and more back asswards with that type of shit.
I know. It's
like I'm
thankfully that Alabama and Mississippi are still behind, but not far.
No, like I understand having certain circumstances where you don't want it going on, but to ban all publicness is stupid.
Well, it's not all public; it's public performance.
Right. That's what I meant. Public performance.
Yeah.
But I don't know what kills me is like, well, they're pushing agendas on our children.
Yeah.
Whereas
like
in
reading in the library.
Yeah, because you're not pushing your Christian agenda onto fucking everyone.
You know, being the South, what they really should look at is the message they're sending to little girls, which is like, hey, keep yourself made up and looking good.
Yeah,
that's what I mean,
because their clothes are fabulous.
They are, and their makeup is on point. Their tits are just all the way up.
Yeah, it's funny. My daughter has started doing it ironically, but I keep wanting to do
wearing drag.
No,
okay.
Because we said at the beginning of the show the slay. Like, so anytime you make a point, I'm wanting to do that now because I've been doing that along with her.
Yeah,
and she
at some point it's not ironic anymore. You're just that's just what you do.
Exactly. Well, it's weird. So, she's always been she's in that age now where she's embarrassed by everything or whatever. But since she's moved in with me, she's loosened up a lot. I mean, I've offended her greatly.
Oh, yeah?
Greatly a couple of times by making the type of jokes that I make. But as a whole, she's starting to loosen up about some of the humor. Because, I bag on her pretty hard sometimes.
Do you?
Fantastic. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I got no mercy.
So is it her now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no.
Oh,
I thought you meant is it her living with me?
I was going to say mark one down for the good team.
No, but she, however, is not upset if I don't.
Sure.
She used to get offended by it, but she doesn't anymore. But I'd explain my reasoning to her, and she actually understood it. So that's helpful.
You gotta pay attention to intent. Intent is important.
Yep. Well, I told her too. I was like, listen, I don't not support you. And this might be a very unpopular opinion with the 0 people that are watching.
I know it is a Thursday night.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I don't expect that number to climb at all.
I'll know. I do at some point expect to look up and see one and then see what's up, you whores.
Right.
That's what I expect to see at some point.
I'm tipsy.
It's nice.
Dad. Yeah.
I should have brought the cable and you could talk to him.
Right. Oh man, that would have been fantastic.
That would have been. So they could call us queers.
Yeah. Anyway, so what I told her was, I was like, listen, like I respect what you're figuring out and what you're the things that you're trying to work through, in your life. I said, however, like you're my daughter. You've been my daughter, all that good stuff. And so like I was like, as far as so I have to do, and I said, I'm a big believer that as a whole that hey, how are you guys? That it's kind of the whole, fact versus feeling to with anything across the board.
Yeah.
And so what I explained to her was, I was like, right now the facts as far as everything with science, and there's all kinds of other studies and people that debate whatever, but high level, like, fact and feelings. I was like, and I respect how you feel. But as your father, it's important for me to instill in you that science is more important than whatever. And science might prove different later, in which case we'll discuss that. But as of now, this is now, it's like if you turn 18 and that's the route you want to go, I'll support you 100%. I'll respect any pronouns. I have no problem with that. I said, but you're 14. And even though you can maybe decipher what you're attracted to and what you're not attracted to, that's a huge decision at your age.
Yes.
And I said, and that might even change for you or as our conversation as you get older. But as of now, this is where we're at. I said, because you have to get used to the fact anyway that people may or may not respect it. And as your dad, you know that I respect you and that I love you. And so you need to get used to somebody not bowing to everything that you demand in that regard. Right. And I said, because demanding somebody calling you whatever is you're trying to control them. And I don't, believe in that. And she was like, well, that makes sense. She goes, I mean, I like, X, Y, or Z. I said, I understand that. And I said, I have no personal qualms with it, but my job is to prepare you for the real world. And this is how the real world operates. It's not just the loud fucking voices on social media that are telling you, whatever this is. I was like, you're in an echo chamber and this is how the real world works. And so anyway, it went well, but she's quit wearing makeup for the most part, which is fucking cool.
Yeah.
But she's realized she can't shock me. Like we grew up all punk rock and dyed hair and all that shit. And so now she came on and she had like basically like the full Crow like makeup, like like the fucking big eyeliner, but then she had like the mouth like the Joker, whatever. And I was like, yeah, I was like, going out like that. She was like, yeah, and I was like, sweet.
Why so serious?
Right? No, I was just like, and I showed her a picture of Jason Lee in the Crow, and I was like, hey, it's your twinsy.
Yeah.
And she was like, but I'd let her, like, if she wants to do her hair, she wants to wear makeup, like, I don't give a shit. I don't be like, you can't wear that. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. I don't fucking care.
Now, clothing wise,
she's just all about like emo goth shit.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, there's definitely like people into emo and goth. I think they're called scene kids.
Yeah,
now.
Kids.
Yeah, they get into some pretty slutty looking stuff.
Yeah, and that would be a different discussion to have. I think, because I'm conflicted with some of that shit. Like, in the sense of like, outside of, again, like the whole big top end social media stuff. Like, I am very pro, like, people are over sexualized for the most part. Like all this shit is, but that's just the society that we live in. And so there's a balance between wearing what makes you comfortable or makes you feel like you look good versus how society fucking operates. And so to me, then that's
you got to live
for a different time
in with reality on reality's terms. Right. Yeah, that's a big thing.
Like, and there are so many fucking predators, so many. And that's the explanation.
My biggest thing about it is like, look, should people gawk at you? No, but
they're gonna.
But yeah, they're gonna. But I mean, it doesn't hurt you. Like, I'd much rather somebody gawk at me than
for sure.
I'd just like for someone to gawk at me. Honestly,
right.
No,
I gawk at you.
But I'm just saying,
I'm checking out them tits this entire fucking show.
Yeah, gawk is the noise we make when we get together.
Right.
Like more like gawk,
little gawk that too.
Yeah.
Little P&M.
That's right. No, but the thing about it is like.
They look very unhappy that we were in here, by the way.
Who did?
The lady that walked through.
I saw her, but I mean, like, what? I feel like she was looking for someone and no one was in here.
Yeah,
whatever.
I don't care.
Sure.
Sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
I'm just saying, like, but if you should be prepared and not pissed off if you decide to wear something revealing or just weird looking to general society.
Yeah.
If someone stares at you,
100%,
you should just be ready for it.
And you can't play the game of like
male or female.
You should stare at me. Blah blah blah. No. Well, it's like people that complain that, well, I have tattoos. It's discrimination that I can't get an XYZ job. I'm like, no, companies are loosening up, but there are some companies that are absolutely not okay with it, and that's not discrimination because you made the fucking choice.
Well, if it exactly, I mean, but if you have, and I've seen this before, if you have a tattoo on your forearm that's just this, be prepared to either be asked to wear long sleeves, or that you're not going to get some jobs.
Yeah, well, dude, it's funny. I am very upfront when I go to job interviews about the shit. I'll be like, and I always ask, I was like, listen, what's your tattoo policy? I was like, I have them. I said, I can cover them up with no problem, and I don't mind wearing long sleeves. I was like, so I put that out. I said, but what is the policy? What is the thought on it? Like, because to me that's bluntness, but I also express the fact that like I get the company cultures are different. Yeah. And if it's needed, then it's needed. And my boss was basically like, well, put it this way. He goes, if there's no nudity or something offensive, he goes, I really don't care. But at the same time, be aware of where you're going.
Sure.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
But whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, I just dream of a day where we're all accepted.
Oh my God. I don't.
Right. No, I'm just tired of getting in trouble for jerking off in public. Like I want people to be like, that's his choice. That's his body. That's his choice.
How far away do you think we are from, because we already have areas and cities that have clean needle sites,
which is great. I think
it can be, it can be. And sometimes it's not. I mean, I think,
Why
I just think
Name
for some people, well, for some people, you're just fueling an addiction that they really need help with an addiction. If it's not an addiction, I mean, look, if you're homeless because you're on drugs, that's a problem. Like, right? We shouldn't. But we're a rich enough, smart enough country. We shouldn't have as many homeless people as we have.
I concur with that.
Yeah, I'm just saying. And you and I disagree on this, but like 70 to 75% of homeless people are mental illness and addiction.
No, I'll give you that. I don't disagree with that.
Well, we had this argument a couple of years ago. Yeah. But you said, nah, that's not the case.
Well, no, because you said that homeless people can choose not to be homeless, basically.
I was making a joke when I said that statement. Yes, I was. But 70 to 75, maybe even in some areas as much as 80% is mental illness and addiction.
Right.
And if you can treat the illness and addiction.
Right. Yeah.
But if you're just somebody that's likes to shoot up, and there's a clean needle place or whatever, or a place where you can go and do it safely or whatever, I'm fine with that. I just do think there's nothing is all good or all bad. It's part of my point.
See, my whole thought with that is addicts are going to be addicts, right? And so like I look
Not
at
necessarily.
it,
Yeah, you can treat it. I mean,
yeah, but what I'm saying is like
once an addict, always an addict, but not always.
But you have to choose to get better,
for sure.
And so you can't force rehab and you can't force getting better on people. I look at it, you can't.
Well, no, I mean,
because that's not going to rehab anything. They're going to fall right back into shit.
When it comes to the addiction, that's probably true. But I'm thinking about the mental illness aspect.
The mental illness aspect you can't get rid of. Period. You can help people get medicated, but
but the thing about it is you can treat it and you can get people off the streets in treating it
with
because
most mental illnesses. I'll give you that.
Yeah, and that's the point I'm making.
Yeah, but we're talking specifically. You said the clean needle thing.
Yeah.
And I look at it like this: is like whether you're pro-life, pro-choice, whatever. But let's just take the abortion thing in a small pocket. I don't want to go into a big thing, but
okay.
And I had this conversation with my mom because, my family's super conservative, super right wing, very, very pro-life, all this shit. And I was like, listen, no, taking that out of it. Like, well, you can't because that's your religious belief. I was like, okay, but say that Lyric, take my daughter, for instance, say she gets knocked up, with a scissor baby, but
that would be something,
right? No, but say she becomes pregnant, right? And then she decides she doesn't want to keep that baby. And no matter how I want to intervene, no matter how you guys want to intervene, whatever, she's like, no, this is what I'm going to do. Would you rather have a safe, sanitary place where she can go and get that done, or have it done in some back alley shit or drink bleach or whatever the fuck else people do? Like, I, for one, would rather have her a safe, sterile place to go that provide people with counseling afterwards. And then my mom was like, well, I haven't thought about it like that. She was like, I still don't think she goes, I still think it should be illegal. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. But like, that's an insane way to look at it.
It is saying it should. Yeah.
But I was like, but if you take the whole Christianity, whatever side out of it, and you look at it from a practical perspective,
a logical way of thinking.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's what it took me years to get to the point to think of things like that because of the indoctrination that we grew up with. Right. I mean, and my wife the same way. Like, we're both pro-choice, but anti-abortion as birth control.
As birth, yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I'm like, but we want people to have the choice.
Yeah,
we just wish, in a lot of instances, that people would choose to go the route of giving a baby up for adoption.
You respect the fact that it's their choice.
Yeah, it's 100% their choice and should be legal.
Because some people don't want that pussy wrecked.
I mean, some people don't. That's why God created C-sections. But I mean, and episiotomies. So back to my original question that I was getting to when I said clean needle sites is,
my bad.
How long do you think it is before there are legal jerk off places in public?
Ooh.
There's already nursing stations in airports where you can go and nurse.
That makes more sense than a public jerk off place.
I mean, I've heard a female before say like, no, there shouldn't be a place to go and hide yourself or whatever. You should just do that out in public because it's a natural, normal thing, again, and no one should care.
Isn't that a choice?
And 100% it's a choice. It's a choice until it goes against your beliefs.
No, but there is a public jack off places. They're called fucking stalls.
Okay. But I'm just saying where you can go and you get everyone in there's jacking off and you're not hidden. So you're getting a little bit of that.
Yeah, but the nursing, but most of the nursing things are a little private rooms.
Say voyeuristic, but
most even nursing things are like private rooms. A lot of them.
Yeah, well, the ones I saw in the Jacksonville airport is just a whole complete pod that you're completely enclosed in. Yeah. It's like one of those like you can rent it by the hour sleeping.
Who says you can't dual purpose that bitch?
Yeah, but I'm talking about where you're in front of people jerking off, because people that want to jerk off in public are doing it because they want people to see them.
Have you ever jerked off in a public bathroom?
I don't think so.
What?
I don't think so.
Dude, I've jerked off almost anywhere you can imagine that's not like out in the open. If there's a private nook and cranny, I have probably jerked off there.
You know what I'm actually disappointed in myself in is I haven't jerked off in a airplane bathroom.
What? You haven't joined the
I almost never
Solo Mile High Club.
Half Mile High Club. No, I rarely get up and go to the bathroom while I'm on a plane.
Have you ever? Are you actually a member? We might have talked about this of the proper Mile High Club. Oh
no, are you?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't seem fun.
It's not.
It's just for bragging, right?
Just for bragging, right?
Yeah. I'm not.
It's
No.
not. I mean, granted,
It's
good.
like threesomes, I guess. Like it doesn't sound fun.
Oh yes, it does.
It doesn't sound fun to me.
Okay.
It doesn't. It's just and now it's two people I got to worry about disappointing. Not like legitimately. Like no, thanks.
Okay, it's fair.
Am I saying that if I were ever a single person and presented with the opportunity that I would turn it down? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in my normal natural state of mind. Right, well, I'm saying in my normal natural state of mind, it doesn't sound fun.
Okay.
It sounds like a lot more work than I want it to be.
That's fair. That's fair. Fair choice. But
Anyway.
yeah, but I'm just saying, yeah, you did get in the solo Mile High Club. It's an easy thing to do.
Sure, and maybe
but that means you got to sit in an aisle seat.
No, fuck that. But I will if I'm sitting next to the window and I have to go to the bathroom. I will get up and go to the bathroom. But I don't get up and go to the bathroom.
Why do you not like aisle seats? I don't understand.
Because I want to have that wall to lean up against.
But it's not comfortable.
It is to me. I carry the little neck pillow thing that I stick up there. It is to me. It's comfortable enough that I can sleep.
Okay.
I'll put it that way. It's not preference. Like I would choose to be in first class where I can lay flat. But,
yeah, for sure.
But,
for sure, dude. It's one of those things. I wish in my life that I've never gotten to fly first class ever. Like I wish it was something that's never happened to me because now anytime I'm on a flight, I'm like, fuck this shit.
It's very hard to fly in economy.
Do you remember when fuck? Because it's Continental still an airline, right? No, United.
There's United, American, Delta,
Continental
Southwest are the real big ones.
By something, but anyway, no, I was thinking of United. So whenever I flew back from Alaska when I was stationed out there, a lot of times because the most convenient flights, part of it was on God damn it, I just completely blanked on United coming back, and they used to run like occasionally you could get a crazy good special because the plane would be empty and they're trying to get more money, and you could upgrade to first class from Anchorage to fucking Seattle or for the whole leg for like $75. And I would be like,
interesting.
I'd be like, oh, fuck yes. Like really for that long of a flight. Cause it's like 8 hours of flying, I would peak. If it was like $150 and I had the money in the account, I would upgrade that fucking 6 hours of flying to first class in a heartbeat.
Every time I use my miles to upgrade to Comfort Plus,
you always get dick.
I get screwed.
Yeah.
I get in it with a bigger person sitting next to me than I would back there.
Yeah,
it is. And it's not that much more room.
I don't go for the room. It's for the free alcohol, but you don't really drink on flights much.
I would, but I've not been on a flight where I'm on Comfort Plus and they walk around and offer you free alcohol.
They're all short flights.
Yeah, they're all pretty short.
Okay, yeah,
a couple hours tops.
Because if they serve beverages, it's free alcohol if you're on Comfort Plus. You just have to fucking ask. Yeah,
interesting.
And if you're flying Delta, Comfort Plus is always free alcohol.
All right, I'll have to keep that in mind.
Yeah,
free beer too.
And free alcohol in general. So I mean, if you're charming, they'll give you multiples at a time, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll give you as many as you want anyway, but
sure.
A lot of times if I'm getting one, I'll be like, hey, can I go ahead and get like 2 or 3? And sometimes I'll be like, no, but
my problem is when I get off a plane, I typically have to get in a car and immediately drive to work.
I told you about the last time when I started this job, how fucked up I got on my first trip out.
I think you did. Yeah.
Dude, I felt okay, a little buzzed. And then I sat down on the plane and my fucking world started spinning. And I was like, oh, fuck me. We're just on the tarmac. And then we took off. And luckily I slept for most of it. But when I woke up, I was like, fuck, I'm drunk. And then I got my rental car and drove to the hotel.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That is, yeah. No, I don't. I just, because of that reason, I just don't do it.
I usually on the way back, whatever, because I Uber home. But even then,
no, I don't.
But I quit because the old job, we drank heavily.
Oh, yeah.
And with this job, I don't. Like, this is, the only drink I've had this week other than before we started. But otherwise, I haven't drank it all this week. But
that's why you were shaking.
Yeah, right. I haven't shaken from a lack of drinking in a long time.
You hadn't quit drinking for a long time.
I didn't drink for a few years until we started the podcast. And then
I think you did drink. You just didn't drink much.
I didn't drink it. Yeah, maybe not much, but even I don't drink at home even now because Amanda doesn't like the smell of it on my breath at all. So if
your body, your choice.
Right. Exactly. But which is fine. But if I ever want to get laid then the booze can't be in.
See, I knew somebody my wife worked with one time said that beer and cigarettes on a man's breath is the sexiest thing.
Yeah.
Like she'll love to kiss a guy and taste beer or cigarettes.
Yeah.
Like that is a trashy woman right there.
That's what Jesus said. was a quote. That was a quote from the New Testament.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, a New Testament. So we're bound by it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I love kissing dudes with cigarette or beer breaths. Maybe that was Paul. Maybe it was Paul that said that shit. I don't know.
That it sounds more like Paul,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure.
Have you ever wondered why the book of Hebrews really had very little to do with like specifically Hebrews? Like, I mean, it was the law written to people that were Hebrews, but the book wasn't about Hebrews.
No, I've never wondered that.
It did when I was watching. I shouldn't say
Paul's letter to the Hebrews, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But
he wrote a lot of letters.
Yeah. Which is funny to me that those became like, oh yeah, those are inspired word of God. It was literally a dude writing letters to churches.
He was writing letters to churches. The letter was inspired by God.
Directly inspired.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Exactly.
Never mind. I'm getting too far into it now. Anyway. So I have this story that I heard about, and I want to bring it up, but I know I'm also going to bring it up next time we do something for the weekend. Is one of the news stories.
Wait, let's not.
Okay, let's not
double down. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Because it'll give people a chance, to tune into the other show.
Yeah,
doesn't matter. They have a huge audience. It's weird to me, that they even want to be like. I get them like coming on as a novelty, right?
Sure.
But to ask me to be on regularly, like really kind of like fucked with my head for a second, because I had this moment of why.
Because I think Andre laid it out the other day after the show. Yeah, he kind of laid it out like, and even Roxanne, who's like, I don't know why I like you, but I like you.
Yeah, she was like, if I'd have known all this like months ago, no. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, my wife has said the same thing to me before. It's like, I don't know why these people like you.
Yeah,
and I'm like, look, I don't either, but they do for some reason.
Yeah. Well, but that's the thing is like, I'm a giant piece of shit, but I am openly and honestly, like, I'm not honest about it. I lie like a motherfucker. Like, this about me. Like, I'm a crazy dishonest person, mostly because I just enjoy the ride. But I'm honest about what a piece of shit I am.
Yeah,
and people are like, oh, that's so funny. But that gets me to a point where I can say almost anything I want to anybody that knows me, and they're like, oh, that fucking Steve, he's hilarious. When really I can be like, I hate you, you fucking piece of shit, and they'll be like, oh, that's Steve, which is a weird type of freedom that I enjoy.
It is, yeah. That is a strange one.
I had a work call today, and there's some issues. Yeah, I was kind of mentioning it to you that popped up, and they hadn't been there. And the guy was basically like, "Dude, it was fine when I left. What the fuck happened?" And I was like, "Don't you fucking get on my case." I was like, "You can fly here, and I will beat the shit out of you behind this." And he laughed, and he goes, "Dude," and he laughed. He was like, "All right, fair." But different guy than the first guy I sent to HR. I got I'm talking to my boss for, but this guy's a little different. But yeah, I told him, I was like, you can fly and I will beat the shit out of you. You want to start that with me? And he was like, all right.
We were talking in the vein of people liking us, whatever. We were talking, my wife and I and Matthew were talking about one of his friends. I'll get into that in a moment. But somehow we got to the topic of like dating people or whatever. And I was like, oh, for sure. Like your mom, if we met now, I said, if we met now, what's the problem?
I muted the wrong goddamn channel.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. You're what?
I said, if we met now at our age and we knew everything about each other that we knew now, your mom would absolutely not date me. And he was like, what, really? And she was like, no.
I like to feel like I'm a small part of that.
I don't think. I mean, I guess a small part. Sure, it's not you.
No,
it's the freedom I have when I'm with you.
It is. I set you free. I'm like.
I mean, that's what you're supposed to do if you love someone.
I'm like a friendship Jesus.
That's right.
But what's funny to me is pretty much every one of my. I'm say friends loosely because you're pretty much my only friend. But
sure.
But most of our acquaintances or friends throughout the years, their wives fucking hate me.
Yeah, she doesn't hate you. I think she just really dislikes
my influence.
No. The way we are, it's like a competition when we're around each other.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
But that's the funny thing is like, I get how that appears, but I don't feel like it's a competition for them.
It is. I don't think it's not the same as if we were playing each other in basketball or something kind of competition, obviously.
Well,
but
obviously,
no, but I'm just saying,
fucking fat ass.
Sure you would. Sure you would.
On a 6-foot goal, you better goddamn believe it. These days I got like 3 inches of ups, bitch.
Oh, is that what it is? I got 3 inches of ups too, but it ain't off the ground.
I'm a power forward and a power bottom.
Oh, well, no, I think it's it. And I was thinking about this when I was taking a piss earlier. Honestly, honest to God, this crossed my mind. I was like, what it is it's about taking it a step further between the two of us, taking a step until you reach that point where it's not funny anymore.
And even then, we lean in.
You do lean in, right? Because you want to see if you can get the other person to laugh,
right?
Or be like, "Oh, yeah. That's the thing."
But I don't know. But I don't look at that as a competition. I look at that as a strength of our relationship because it's expected and it's comfortable. Because I know.
Well, I'm just saying it's a competition. Who can take it that extra step?
Yeah.
Because eventually you get to a point where one of us is not taking it another step.
Who do you feel is better than taking it? Now, I will give you. I am worse about refusing to put certain things on social media than you are with the B3F shit.
Sure.
Yeah. I've been a much bigger bitch about that, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah.
But most of mine is because it's, I don't want to say public image is the wrong word. No, it's not even fucking sensitivity. It's because I want our social medias to continue and not get blocked, A. And B, social media is the most commonplace people are going to block. I guess they hear the show. But anyway, it's more of a matter of not getting like blocked on shit or getting taken off. Because we don't advertise for shit. All we have is social media.
I mean, look, if our social media account got taken down, that's bragging rights. Not taken down, but muted for a little while. It's bragging rights. It would be like if we killed somebody with our show. That would be bragging rights.
Right. We've been shadow banned.
You think so?
Yeah, 100%.
How? In what way? Because shadow ban is typically where your comments don't show up.
No. Shadow ban is when your posts don't make it into the algorithm and nobody sees it. Because we have both had posts where we've put like highly trending hashtags and maybe gotten like 2 or 3 likes. That's a shadow ban.
Or is it because people see it and they're like, oh,
I don't know.
I don't like
I was particularly proud of this week's tag.
Were you?
By the way, I was.
Yeah, that's funny.
Doesn't matter. Regardless, I think that's one of the only areas that I have more of a line than you do.
Sure.
Otherwise, I'm not saying I have less of one. I'm just saying like that's one of the only ones where I weirdly enough have like a boundary.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Boundary.
Yeah. And just a boundary as far as how much I'm willing to push. Because the other thing is I want people to listen to the show.
Mm-hmm.
And if they listen to the show and then fucking hate us, fine. But I'm fucking fine with that. But I don't want them to hate the show before they watch.
Sure. I get it.
Yeah. So like, I'm fine. It's like, it's kind of like meeting me. People either really hate me or really like me, but I don't want them to hate me before they meet me.
You know, what's interesting is the thing that has surprised me the most from you, the social media thing, a little, but the couple of times, and I can only think of one now, but I feel like it's happened a couple of times where I went in and named an episode, and then when you went to release the episode, you changed the name of it.
Yes.
That was what surprised me more than anything.
I look at it the same as social media, and it's for the same reason. Because if people listen to the show or had like if that title had come after somebody watched the show for the release, the title would make sense and it would be funny. Somebody that's never heard the show that might just be tuning in, seeing that, I don't even feel like it was clickbait. I feel people would have been like, fuck those guys. just for a couple of them. And again, I want people to hate us organically.
Sure, but that is organically because it's us.
But I feel like it's more of a manufactured thing because
I don't think so, because it's exactly what you get from the show.
Right. But getting from the show, you're getting it firsthand. Like firsthand in the sense of it's coming out of
I feel like it's the first line of defense is the title of the show.
See, I feel like you want that to be like very non-combative, and so that sucks.
Oh no, I feel like that's a lie. I feel like you're putting a lie out there.
Okay,
now.
well, I lie anyway.
I understand that, but I feel like that's not being true to the show. Is the way I look at it.
I see that perspective.
Yeah.
But my thing is like I want people to feel comfortable coming into the show. Like, all right, this seems like it might be funny, and then they listen and they're either going to be like, dude, that was one of the funniest things I fucking listened to, or like, holy shit, why? Or like to cut it off. I will say though, out of all the shit that we've done, I think one of the only things I'm proud of is getting our YouTube episode banned overturned.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That doesn't happen that often.
No,
I found out they don't overturn shit. So I was like,
no, they don't.
That was a big victory for me in my life.
True. That's sad.
The guy in the glass is always pissing me off.
Well, yeah. Is that true? Thanks, Steve. You know what? I'm the one, when you see likes from us, I'm the one liking the post.
That's true. I barely get on social media.
Yeah.
I like their shit every now and then for my personal, but not often.
Yeah.
I barely get on Instagram anymore.
The guy in the glasses always pissed him off. Yeah, he said we're both wearing glasses.
I'm aware.
Okay, I want to make sure that you're aware.
Yeah, I'm aware. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for enlightening me.
Yeah.
You fucking cunt.
Well, do you remember the episode I'm talking about that you changed the title on?
Yeah.
Which one was it?
It was the one when Evan had called in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the title of the episode was?
Loosely, I could paraphrase, but it wasn't the. I can't quote it verbatim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember why? So, all right.
Yeah,
The title was I named the title "Schooled by a Black Guy."
I thought it was.
Nope.
It was schooled by
a black guy.
I was thinking the first part was school, like we're like taught a lesson by or something.
Yeah, we were. It was a play on that.
Right. Yeah.
Taught it because he did. Do you remember what he?
Yeah,
was?
because I said he was eloquent. And
No,
is that one?
No, he called in and taught us what a perm was for black people because we weren't
yeah.
sure, and that's why I said
because
schooled by a black guy.
It was a very different.
Yeah, because you did tell him he was eloquent on that,
which was hilarious.
Right. Yeah, I mean, but that was a running gag
Right.
at that point. But you did. But that's why I named it because I knew if he saw the title, he'd think that was funny.
Yeah,
I believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about. I remember why I changed the title because of context within the show.
Yeah,
but
you called it clickbaity.
Yeah. Yeah, it was clickbaity.
I don't think it is.
Whatever. It doesn't fucking matter at this point.
You won't believe what these childhood stars look like now.
Dude,
that's clickbait.
We should start making our titles like that, like very non-offensive, but you won't believe what Joey said this week. You know.
You think so?
Yeah. Or not even Joey. You don't have to name us by name.
I think we should just find clickbait article titles and just name them clickbait article titles.
Yeah. You won't believe what Heather Locklear's up to now.
Yeah.
Is she still alive? Is Heather Locklear still alive?
I think so. She's probably still hot. I get these articles like they come up on the news feed on Facebook all the time. Like the first thing on my news feed, and I barely read any of the news stories on Facebook. It's usually has to do with the TV show I watch or sports.
Yeah, but
see Christina Ricci in an absurdly tight cutout gown.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Here's another one. I've ditched bras. If people can see my nipples, they should mind their business.
Yeah, that would be a great title. Yeah, we should absolutely start doing that. I'm on board. I'm on board with that.
Yeah. Oh well. So I had a thought.
Yeah. What's your thought?
We're at 37. We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
I had a thought about. I was listening to a podcast and somebody mentioned Jimmy Buffett.
Okay.
Going to a Jimmy Buffett concert, and he had named the tour, and I don't know how long ago this was, but he named the tour the Second Wind Tour.
Yeah.
Which, that's clever.
Okay.
Right? He's an old guy or whatever.
And also sailing.
Okay. I think he's overrated.
Okay.
The songs of his that I like, I really enjoy those songs, but it's very few.
You just listen to Margaritaville and Cheeseburger in Paradise on repeat.
I do like Cheeseburger in Paradise. I like mine. Yeah. It's a fun song. Margaritaville, a fun song. Okay. I don't understand why stepping on a pop top blows out your flip flop and why that means you had to cruise on back home. I don't understand that. That's to me, you're not trying hard enough.
Right. Fair.
Because anybody I know that's been drunk off margaritas, that's not going to stop them.
Right.
So, no, but I just
no commitment to the cause.
What are your feelings on Jimmy Buffett? Because he's got a bit of a singer-songwritery guy with a guitar kind of feel.
No, it's the same way. Like the people that love Jimmy Buffett, like the
parrot, fucking love him.
The parrot heads. Yeah, but
is that what they're called?
Yeah, it's parrot heads or Jimmy Buffett fans. Like I feel like there are people that just love smoking weed and love songs that are just about nothing with meaning. Like they're his fans. Like they just want to smoke weed, drink booze, and listen to songs that they know. Because really, although he's had other stuff, he's really known for like a handful of songs. Mm-hmm. He does have a couple incredibly well-written songs.
His restaurant is shit.
Yeah, fuck his restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I meant like A Pirate Looks at 40 is a great song. Like he's got some good stuff in there that's not just his mainstream hits, but like I get why his hits were big. They're
catchy.
They're catchy. They're very
fun.
Appealing. Right. But yeah, I'm not.
They're fun, big crowd songs.
Right. Yeah.
You're never going to be disappointed if you're at a bar and a talented band covers a Jimmy Buffett song.
Oh, yes, I would.
Well, but see, here's the thing. This is where I'm getting to. I think you're a music snob.
Oh yeah, I am.
Like, but you are like a young person is. Like I've heard you talk about young people like, I don't like that. That just doesn't sound very.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're trying too hard, or when
Right.
you're very much like that when it comes to stuff.
But I don't not acknowledge someone's talent.
No, but that's your first thing is to just shit all over them.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. But again, I have enough of an open mind. Like if you get into a conversation with me about it, because I like what I like and I don't like what I don't like.
Sure.
But I will say, like, I fucking hate Led Zeppelin. I fucking hate them.
Why?
One of the most overrated bands in the fucking history of music. Because they're not that great as far as Bonham was talented as shit. Jimmy Page became talented as shit. Robert Plant can eat a fucking.
I mean, Jim
dick.
Morrison died too young.
Jim Morrison, fucking.
No,
Nice.
no, I was
well
kidding.
played. Well played. Well played. It took me a second, but like, I don't know. I mean, like, they were like,
what the fuck does Steve even like?
Right? Not you, but the no. But what the reason is like I can appreciate what they did for the that genre of like metal and the influence they had in like butt rock and arena rock, all that stuff. And like I said, Page, Bonham, incredibly talented dudes, and whatever the fuck their bass player's name was.
No one ever remembers the bass player.
No, but I feel like they've been hyped
except in Skillet, John Cooper.
Right, John Cooper, right? No, I feel like they're a great group of musicians. I don't know. I just feel like their writing was fucking awful. Like the lyrically and
okay, lyrically, I'll give you that lyrically, and their song titles are really weird.
Yeah, but that might be a better way to look at it. Like, you know me, like the writing is more important a lot of times than like if their guitar player's fucking stellar. Like I expect the musicians to be good, but if their writing is just fucking like if lyrically they're garbage,
musically they're amazing. They're so good. John Bonham was like ahead of his time. One of the best drummers
of all time.
Yeah,
100% agree.
Yeah,
100% agree. But when you take all of it into an account,
I got you.
Yeah, again,
I just don't think they're overrated.
Okay,
I don't.
Do you think the Beatles are overrated?
I don't think they're overrated.
Okay,
no, because I think the influence they had on everything it justifies.
But I guess that's where I conflicted is the wrong word, but when I look at it both ways, like I'm not going to take away how influential like people were with what they did or what they accomplished, but that doesn't necessarily equal the fact that they're good. Right?
I think you have to take that into account of the time it was, though, as well.
No, I'm not talking about recording quality.
I'm not talking about that either.
Okay.
I'm talking about their talent wise. I mean, depending on who you're talking about, the talent wise, because obviously we've gotten way better musicians in the last 20 years than we had.
The Beatles the last few years, like to me,
you ever listen to what's his name? The Devil at the Crossroads. Why can I not think of his name?
Robert
not
Johnson.
Yes.
Yeah.
That he's just like hailed as amazing guitar player. You ever listen to his shit?
Yeah.
He's not great.
No.
It sounds really
the time he was.
That's it. That's the point I'm making.
And
the Beatles, this because no one was really quite doing that, and that's why they were so influential.
Right. Well, they were when they or the earlier stuff. What they changed the game in, but I feel like they get more credit than the Beach Boys did, and the Beach Boys.
I knew you were going with Beach Boys.
Well, no, but they're just as worthy.
I know Brian Wilson. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm talking about the studio work and how they use
fucking loser. Brian Wilson's a loser.
Yeah, he's a schizophrenic fucking bastard.
Yeah,
but no, what I'm talking about is their
get better. Jesus, no.
But what I'm talking about is like when you equate.
You literally hate everything.
Yeah, especially you. But no, because my thought is if you compare the use of the studio as an instrument, right?
Yeah,
they both did it the same or equally as well, but the Beatles get more credit, right?
Sure.
I think because if I remember, did Sgt. Pepper's release before Pet Sounds?
I don't remember. No.
But regardless, you had like the Beach Boys were a huge band, but they were nothing compared to the size of the Beatles, right? So the Beatles overshadowed them in that regard, but I feel like they were equally influential in different fucking ways. But we had this conversation before. I feel like there's certain bands that are both underrated and overrated, right? Together.
Yeah, in different aspects for sure.
And that's how I feel about a lot of these bands. Pink Floyd, same way for me.
They've got a handful of songs that I enjoy, and
they're a brilliant studio band
Oh, yeah.
and they're fantastic musicians, but I would rather be kicked in the dick than listen to like the entirety of The Wall in
I got
like sitting in one sitting. I will say watching The Wall with Wizard of Oz is fucking trippy as shit.
Oh yeah,
I've done it.
It's
so
Dark
much.
Side of the Moon, not The Wall.
Dark Side of the Moon. Sorry. Yeah. But The Wall is whatever.
I've never done that. I've tried
It's-
one time at whoever I was with couldn't
didn't
line it up,
sync it correctly.
didn't want to do
It's
it.
well worth the watch.
Yeah.
And so there's
I
people.
hate the movie The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
I absolutely abhor that.
That's a
movie.
whole different conversation of movies overrated.
Yeah.
But my thought with music, so it's from a let me quantify this a little bit better.
Okay.
From a taste of what I like to listen to, I fucking hate Led Zeppelin. But I respect the shit out of what they did and how talented they were. Except Robert Plant, who's a long-haired fucking cunt. And he still had a great voice. I just fucking think he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to take away from what they accomplished and what they did from a personal music taste. Yeah, I don't like it. And I'm a music, I guess a snob's not even the right. I'm snobby to a point. I would concur.
Sure.
But I also look at the fact of like, if somebody's like, oh, I just love Led Zeppelin. I'm like, okay, why do you like Led Zeppelin? If you can tell me why you like him, okay, I'll give you that. But if you're just like, oh, because, like Houses of the Holy was like really good and whatever, I'm like, no, fuck you. You don't understand what the fuck you're talking about.
See, that's a music snob.
It is.
They don't have to understand. All they have to do is know that when Led Zeppelin comes on, they fucking love it.
And that's great.
Yeah, but that's a music snob.
Yeah, and that's what I'm not denying that I'm a music snob.
Okay, that's fine.
But I'm just saying, but I also believe with anything, you should at least somewhat be able to
You watch Ghost Dad.
Wish you were here. It's that Zach Braff movie. Is that what he's talking about? And that was
terrible. It is. No, I thought it was a good movie. It's not as good as Garden State, but it's a good movie.
It's all right.
Wish You Here was a good movie.
Do you how about okay? Let's get off. Okay, well, let me take this back just 1 second. And so, but I feel like with anything, you should be able to justify.
He's not talking about the movie Wish You Were Here, though. He's talking about the song Wish You Were Here with Ghost Dad.
Oh, gotcha.
Like,
gotcha.
The Dad's Dead. I Wish You Were Here.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Ghost Dad. That's Bill Cosby, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that just
we
shows
don't watch that anymore.
That just shows what kind of person that
you hate women.
Yeah.
I can tell, but just for the fact
of,
that you watch Ghost Dad, you
that's
hate
what kind
women.
of person Stefan is. But I mean, I'm a big believer in, and maybe this is just being a dick in general, but like, I'm fine with you having an opinion, even if it's something that I don't like. But I think anybody should have the ability to
question. There's a such
quantify that. You don't bullshit your way through why you think they're great or why you love them. Like, I'm not even, you're wearing a band shirt and I'm like, well, name 3 songs. Like, I don't give a shit about that.
Right.
I am a believer if you wear the fucking band shirts of shows you've been to. I am a staunch believer in that.
So don't wear a band shirt if you've never seen them live.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
But what if you're a fan of a band that you can't see live?
Yeah. You don't wear a shirt.
You can't, like, let's just, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of you. No one's allowed to wear.
No, I'm not.
No one born after whatever year can wear a Beatles shirt.
Yeah,
that's stupid. That is stupid.
I'm just saying, but I don't wear band shirts of bands I haven't seen.
I get that,
but I'm not saying I should apply that to everyone. I'm just saying for me, that's a thing.
What if you can't afford a ticket because the Rolling Stones are fucking $500 a ticket, but you're still a huge Rolling Stone fan and you want to support them by buying the shirt? That's fucking stupid.
Put a sticker on your fucking car. I don't.
That's worse.
Yeah, no, but here's the thing. And I'm not saying that I think you're a piece of shit if you do. I'm saying that's a personal rule that I follow. I think it's dumb otherwise. But I'm saying if you wear a fucking Pink Floyd shirt, fine. You like Pink Floyd, you want to wear the shirt.
I tend to stay away from most band shirts.
But I'm saying, but for me personally,
sure.
And I've even told Lyric this. I'm like, if you haven't seen them, don't wear the shirt. And she was like, why? Kind of the same thing. I was like, this is what she goes, I like that. And I was like, yeah, okay, fair. She goes, then she said, thing, what about old bands? I was like, it's up to you. I'm not telling you you can't. I'm just telling you, like, one of my prized possessions.
You're telling her you think less of her if she does.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I got you.
But like, no, my personal, like I have a Buffalo Springfield shirt, which I'm super proud of, but I actually got to see them on the reunion show. So I'm like, yeah, fuck yes, I can wear this.
Yeah.
But like, but the funny thing is though, then I have all these other caveats in my head that like, well, I could wear a Neil Young shirt if I wanted to because he was in Buffalo Springfield and I saw him perform.
No,
I'm just saying.
I know. Now you're just finding loopholes. You're like rich people with taxes.
I'm
just kidding.
I'm openly admitting that. You fucking.
I know. I think, yeah, I don't abide by if you've never seen them live.
Okay, well,
don't.
do you abide by the you don't wear the shirt of the band you're going to see?
Yeah, that feels weird.
To me, that's one of the. Like,
and if you tell me you wear it because you're going to get them to autograph it, carry it with you.
Yeah. So are you
just like you don't wear the shirt of the band you're in?
To me, it's one of the unless you're doing it whatever. But
no,
I agree. But now it's funny. I played in a band in Hawaii, and the guy that we had playing bass and or guitar for us would wear a T-shirt with his face on it for every show, and it was legit fantastic.
But that's funny,
yeah,
right? Because you're not advertising your band or anything like that.
But I sent Lyric. I found this article, and I probably should find it and read it on here. But it was the 10 Commandments of show going. And that was one of the things in the 10 Commandments, and it was like
stay late and look for everyone's money on the floor. I've found so much money on the floor after a show.
That's a good bonus. But it was actually like I read over it first, and I was like, it's a goddamn good list. Like I couldn't have put together a better list. Yeah. So maybe after the break, I'll come back and I'll find that and read it up. But
so God, there's something else I was fixing to say just a moment ago when we were talking about this.
Is it break time? Yeah, I have to piss.
Not yet.
I have to piss so bad.
No. Fuck. Can't remember what it was.
We're talking about and maybe it's just me. Am I talking really loud in here because I can actually hear the echo off the walls?
I think it's just because of the room we're in. The audio probably sounds like shit.
No, audio doesn't sound like shit.
I bet it does.
I bet you can't even hear the background music much.
I hope not, because they've played some songs that are copyrighted for sure.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Anyway, I just heard somebody talking about Jimmy Buffett. I wondered your thoughts, and it made me. I imagined what I thought your thoughts were, and I went, he's a music snob.
I am a music snob.
You're so judgmental on people's taste in music.
Yeah. But the thing is I don't hold that. I judge you, but I don't hold it against you.
It's kind of what judging is.
Not really. It's like I can judge you, and I was like, okay, like you like vodka. Not you specifically. I'm saying like vodka. I think vodka is disgusting, and I think you're an idiot for liking vodka. But we can still be fine. And every time you drink vodka, I'm not going to be like, can't believe that guy drinks vodka. I can't be friends with him.
No, but you'll say something to the person.
Because I like giving people shit, just like I like giving you shit about everything.
Sure, I got you.
And vice versa. Whatever.
Sure.
Just like you give me shit for everything as well. That doesn't mean I'm judging you. It just means I'm being a dick. There's a big difference in those two things.
I got you.
Yeah. Like if Stefan likes to like shitty things, that's fine. I hate him regardless of what he listens to.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel about?
I'm kidding. I love Stefan. He's a beautiful man.
How do you feel about kids and that was funny. Did you notice nobody really said anything when I called Kanye in our chat when he said that?
Yeah, that was fantastic.
What about do you think there's certain not genres but certain songs or bands that you should wait till kids are a certain age to let them listen to?
I've thought about that a lot, especially as Lyric's gotten older, and I'm very torn on it because like at one part of me is like, I think for me more than language, it's content, right? And so like if the kid's 10 and there's no concept or been no exposure to any type of like sexuality, right? Yeah. Why would you throw heavily sexualized music in their ears?
Bloodhound Gang.
Right. Yeah. And I love the Bloodhound Gang, but so I'm very conflicted because I thought about that with Lyric because she listens to some shit now that I'm like, fuck.
Like what?
Like Hollywood Undead. I know.
Makes complete sense though.
Right. But Hollywood Undead, she really loves fucking what is it? Cannibal Corpse.
I was gonna say, has she listened to like any of the old goth stuff like Bauhaus or anything like that?
Yeah. Okay. And like Cannibal Corpse and shit like that. And like Jude's my ex-wife will let Jude listen to fucking like unedited Eminem and shit. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And again,
I don't know. Eminem's not that sexualized mostly.
Yeah, but some of it's violent and hateful as shit. And again,
it's a lesson.
Right. But again, like I'm torn on it because at one point I think there's things that are age appropriate. Not that they're wrong, but like it's kind of like playing super violent video games, right? Like I'm fine after a certain age when it's not going to be this thing where it's this desensitizing, like don't know what's again, like it's or watching a horror movie, right?
Yep.
Like I'm not going to let my 8-year-old, and some people do, and that's fine. But for me, like I would have a hard time letting my 8-year-old watch a fucking movie where people are getting cut into goddamn pieces.
Why is that fine for you? Why are you fine with other people letting their kids do that?
Because it's their choice. And
where do you draw the line on? Yeah, but you don't think that it because like you don't like people bringing kids to restaurants, right? Because it has an effect on the other people in the restaurant,
right?
But in theory, and even sometimes in reality, letting kids watch stuff that young can have an effect on other people as well.
In the sense of like them being in school and acting out and shit.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. But then that's your job as a parent to counteract whatever that is, right? Because that's your responsibility as a parent of how they act. That's completely different than taking a kid into public and them ruining shit for everyone else.
Good answer. Good answer.
Yeah. And so that's what I'm saying. Like I know some people that let their kids just fucking cuss like a sailor.
Sure.
Fine, if that's what you want to do.
For me, it was when the kids turned 16, they could cuss at each other.
Right. And my thing with that is it's not so much that I think cussing's bad, fucking obviously, but it's more of you need to learn to have it. Like, I know you're 13. I know you're cussing like a motherfucker with your friends.
Right.
Like I'm in no like delusions that you don't have a mouth.
Sure.
That granted, you're not ever going to be as good as stringing creatively words together as I am, but
yeah, it's
harsh language. But like you need to learn to have a filter, right? That's an important thing to learn.
For sure.
And so I don't allow them to cuss at home, not because I'm anti-cussing, but because I think they need to learn that skill set of, okay, I'm cussing with my friends, but when I come home, that filter's got to be the fuck on.
Right.
And some people say, well, no, but they need to learn when it's appropriate by saying shit.
Do you think you can ever, do you think that there comes a time you can ever turn the filter completely off around your kids?
Yeah, I do for the most part. They're older. It's a little different. Oh, you mean, I'm sorry. Take it off.
Take your filter off completely.
Like,
I mean, but when your kids are in their 20s,
yeah, 100%.
You can take that filter completely off.
I do with Eli for the most part. Like I keep it's probably 90% off with Eli.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I questioned myself the other day if I say fuck too much in front of my kids.
But my thing with Eli, it's more I more censor my attitude towards things, and same with the kids. Like to me, that's more important with language because I don't want to raise a bunch of nihilistic fucks. If they want to become nihilistic or hateful and hate everything, I want them to come to that on their own.
Yeah, join the church.
But not because I fed it to them.
Yeah.
Right? Because kids are super impressionable. And if I'm always like, fucking hate everybody, fuck everything that's stupid, regardless of how I feel, if they hear that all the time, they're going to adopt that mindset.
Probably, yeah.
Right. And so to me, it's like indoctrinating them. I try to keep things very neutral. Might be their best with my opinions, with my outlooks. Like I will tell them truth if they ask questions, or if there's like a weird, thing that they want to know about, or how the world works. Like I'm very honest in that regard. But as far as when I give my personal opinions about politics or about religion or whatever, like I'm pretty fucking neutral because I want them to get to their own spot of decision making.
All right, last question, then we'll go to break.
Yeah.
What would you do if your youngest son asked you, does size matter?
I'll tell him no.
That's it. Your better answer would have been, well, I didn't to your mom.
Right.
Like that's what you should have said.
Right.
But no,
I've messed with the kids before. Like, Lyric said something one time we were all together, and I was like, oh, she was like something about being born. I was like, well, I helped with that, right? And she was like, oh, and I was like, yeah, I banged your mom, and she was like, Dad, it's so messed up. And I'm like, well,
there's a comedian, Annie Letterman is her name. She's very funny.
Really? She's a female?
Yeah. A comedian. Sorry if I wasn't clear. No, but she had
I'm just confused by the funny.
She had a joke. It's like I'm an adult now, like 30. My mom wants to be my friend, and I'm always just like, really, you're my best friend? And why'd you fuck my dad, bitch?
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So I wondered,
Yeah.
That's the last question. So
that was
I thought I had something else I was going to say with that, but
that
I
was
can't
a
remember
stupid question.
what it was.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Well, I am about to.
Oh, I did. I know what it
Jesus
was.
Christ.
You said you told Lyric you banged her mom, and I
Yeah.
told Krista the other day in front of her kids, like, you do realize every person that lives in this house has been inside you, right? and I actually think at one point I said to her, you realize everyone in this house either came in you or came out of you.
Well done, sir. I'll give you props.
That's
on
not
that.
original. I heard it somewhere else,
I'm
but
sure
still.
you did. But
All
I'm
right.
just saying this. Well done.
We'll be back.
All right. Hey, buddy.
No return music?
And we're back. Oh, I forgot about the return video. Doesn't fucking matter.
And we're
Like
back.
we've gotten so just whatever with this at this point.
I think we've actually gotten to where we truly wanted it to be to start with. I think so. Just whatever, who cares, as long as sonically it sounds good.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Now, I will say though, for anybody that's still watching, which we just went down to 0, which is
that's funny.
Which there's 1 until we went back live again. But anybody that happens with us, we do have some pretty sweet plans coming up for some shows.
I wasn't sure if you were going to want to say anything about that or what.
We can. I don't give a shit.
It's fine.
We just don't have a date nailed down yet, which is driving me fucking crazy.
Look, I threw my dates out first.
I
threw them out first.
I was impressed. I'm going to give you that. I was amazed that you threw out like solid dates because you are one of the most non-committal motherfuckers.
It's because I would rather work around everyone else. That's it. I'm a pleaser.
Yeah.
So I did have something that I wanted to share with you.
Okay.
And the headline gives it away.
Okay.
But I'm just going to go right into it. Televangelist Joyce Meyer gets tattoo at 79.
Oh,
says she did it to honor God.
Wow. I was really hoping that there was something fucking scandal, like she got caught fucking like scissoring Tammy Faye or some shit.
Oh, that's the eyes of Tammy Faye. Okay.
Right.
So
by fucking Haggard.
This says
Jimmy Swaggart,
the president of Joyce Meyer Ministries. How humble of you to name your ministry after yourself. Said in a video clip posted on her YouTube page in October that she was convinced by Isaiah 49:16 that it's perfectly okay for her as a Christian to sport a tattoo.
Wow.
And she quote, "Some of you think it's fine, and some of you think, man, you get a tattoo, you're on your way to hell. And you're free to think what you want to, but you're not free to judge people who do what you don't think they should do."
Wow, that's like the opposite of her entire fucking ministry.
Yeah.
God damn it.
She told the mostly female audience gathered at her event last fall that she read from Isaiah 49:16, "Behold, I have indelibly imprinted or tattooed a picture of you on the palm of each of my hands."
Oh, it's on the palm of her. Oh,
and
that was based on gotcha.
But she said, ever since I read that scripture that said people had tattooed on their hands, "I belong to the Lord," I thought, I'm going to get a tattoo that says I belong to Jesus, the televangelist said, to cheers and applause.
How funny it would be if she got like a butterfly pussy tattoo.
That would be.
Spread your wings and fly, Joyce Myers.
So long story is evidently someone, I don't know what, had been watching her or something and thought tattoos were bad. So he was a tattoo artist. He quit doing tattoos. And then he heard that, saw that or whatever, and said that it would be his honor or something like that to give her first tattoo. And so she got connected with him, and she and her husband both. She says, "I have a nice little cross back there on her back, and it says, I belong to Jesus. And just for good measure, I put love on my foot to remind me to walk in love." And her husband, Dave, she said, "Dave's 82 and got a tattoo. I'm 79 and I'm doing fine."
Jesus.
The guys. So said the guy that did it said they were the oldest people he had ever tattooed.
Yeah.
She further urged her critics not to send her letters complaining about her decision to get tattooed because she really prayed about her decision and her conscience is at ease. See, I really was hoping that it was going to say, "Don't send me your letters because I'm not going to read them."
Right.
Because she's not going to read them anyway.
Right. No.
But
she's Joyce fucking Myers.
She said, "The whole thing is between me and God. It's a matter of my heart. And when I stand before God on Judgment Day, before he makes any decision about me, he's not going to call any one of you and say, 'Is there anything you'd like to add about Joyce?' Each of us is going to stand before God and give an account of our life. And he's not going to ask somebody else what they think about what we did. You honestly think that I'm so stupid that I didn't pray and believe with all my heart. I did it as an honor to God. Let's stop the judging, the criticizing, and really just don't bother writing me letters telling me what you think."
Oh my God.
Anyway, which is crazy that any televangelist would say not to judge people.
Yeah.
Considering that they make their bulk off of.
Yeah. Dude, that's insane. Well, that's one of the things. And I'm finding myself, and I'm usually not, And I think you know me well
I
enough.
thought you were fixing to say judgmental. Honest to God, I thought you were going to say that, and I was going to be freaking gobsmacked.
No, like what I was going to say is, no, I'm judgmental as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%. But what I was going to say is, I tend not to be like bitter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm pissy. I get riled up about shit, but like I don't get like usually hyper fixated and bitter about something. Like I'm pretty, and you might disagree with this, but I think you've known me long enough to know that I'm open to having my mind changed if it's from a perspective.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I'm moderately open minded, like 100%. But I'm finding myself getting more and more bitter towards Christianity in general, and not Christianity in the sense of like because of my background, like, oh, the church did this to me, fuck the church. But like the longer I see the bullshit that comes out of the church, maybe bitter is the wrong word.
See, I would word it differently. I would say I'm getting more and more bitter towards Christians.
Okay, and maybe bitter
because they're the ones that have
and maybe like
religion
bitter
in what its truest form is supposed to be.
Yeah, and maybe bitter is the wrong word as much as more like just completely like disgusted by. That might be a better way to put it. Yeah. But okay, so the 10 Commandments of show going.
Oh, okay.
That's what I've been to bring up. And I usually hate lists.
I know you do.
This is a list. It's from AP though. So
okay.
Alternative Press.
Yep. All right.
Number 1, thou shalt not call it a concert. People who don't go to shows call them concert. Your parents call them concerts. If it's not an arena, it's not a concert. It's a show.
Is it?
That's what.
So it has to be an arena. I'm a firm believer in calling it a show, right?
Yeah.
I saw Ben Folds at the Bijou, and I said we're going to a Ben Folds show.
Yeah, but like a stadium, I consider like that's a concert. Like when you go see the Rolling Stones, I would still say show, but like I can excuse that I'm going to go see the Rolling Stones in concert because it's.
But if you go see Garth Brooks, it's a concert.
Yeah, 100%. It's a spectacle.
Fucking performance.
Right, performance. Right.
Yeah.
But like anywhere else, it's a show.
Yeah, that's it. So me and the kids went to see a local band play, and they're a cover band, yacht rock band, or whatever. One night, and when we got home that night, Krista asked me and Matthew, she was like, "Did you guys enjoy your concert?" And I was like,
"Did you say fuck you, bitch?"
No, I said 100% that wasn't a concert.
Yeah, no,
so it's a show.
Okay,
but it's not a. Yeah, I don't think I am bound by the arena thing.
Right, but that's a pretentious as shit way to look at it. But this is a very pretentious fucking list.
AP is very pretentious.
Yeah. So number 2, thou shalt not wear the T-shirt of the band you are going to see at the show. We just talked about that.
What if you don't wear the headliner shirt, but you wear an opening act shirt?
Fuck you.
Okay.
Fuck you.
What if you wear the shirt of an old band that one of the members used to be in?
I'm okay with that. I'll excuse that.
What if you wear a tumble down shirt to an MXPX show?
I can excuse that.
Can you?
I would not, from a personal standpoint.
What if you wear an MXPX shirt to a tumble down show?
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's a separate band. Again, I wouldn't do it, but I will I'll give that concession.
All right.
To someone.
What if you wear an Arthur shirt to a tumble down show?
Same fucking thing. Right. God damn it. It's a separate band. It's fine.
Okay.
Again, personally, no, but fuck it. I don't give a shit otherwise.
Nirvana shirt to a Foo Fighter show.
Nice.
All right. All right. Go ahead.
All right.
Number 3.
Thou shalt not listen to the band you are about to see on the way to the show.
Oh, I disagree with that.
See,
if it's not someone I listen to regularly anymore or haven't listened to in a while, I want to refresh my memory because I want to sing along.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I've actually always abided by this. Like the day of, sure, but on the way to the show.
Well, usually I don't have the opportunity to listen to music till I'm on the way to the show.
Yeah. So thou shalt spend disposable income at the merch table before the bar.
Okay, I can give you that.
Yep.
I typically wouldn't do either.
Right.
Although over the last year, I've tried to make it a point to, if I enjoy the event I'm at, to buy a shirt.
Well, see, I buy a shirt because that's the only way I wear band shirts. Like we talked about earlier, because I'm a pretentious cunt.
Yep, I got you.
All right, number 5, thou shalt always tip. Sure, talking about bartenders.
Oh, well,
thou shalt not yell Freebird, which I agree. It pisses me off.
Even ironically?
It's not ironic.
It is ironic.
Not at this point in the world, in the music, in the going to shows world. Fuck you. Thou shalt appreciate the opening bands. In other words, show up and watch the opening bands. I'm a big believer in
Yeah,
this.
it's fine.
It doesn't mean you have to like them. It means
but to me, that's what appreciate is.
Yeah, to me, it's appreciate that they're playing. Like you respect.
I would word
that scene.
that's it. I would word it
Respect.
different. I'd say thou shalt respect the opening band.
Number 8 is thou shalt not be too cool for school. Definition being is welcome new fans into the fold and don't be like, I'm fucking cooler than all these bitches because I've been with this band since before
write
they were known.
10 Commandments lists about shows.
Right.
Yeah.
Thou shalt respect security, fucking fine. And then thou shalt respect the venue, also fine. So some of those are common sense, but some people are. I've known a lot of people that were all about, like they're like, fuck you. Like to me, if the show or if the venue is adamantly says there will be no like crowd surfing, I'll respect that shit. If they don't mention it, who fucking cares?
Right.
You know, like I've been to a couple venues that wouldn't allow moshing during the shows.
What do you think about a venue that tells the bands no cussing on stage? You can do it in a song. If it's in a song already,
which is weird,
but you can't do it in conversation on stage.
Right.
How do you feel about it when those bands then sing the things that they're saying to their audience?
It's the band's choice.
Yeah, but that's not respecting the venue, and you're the band getting paid by the venue.
But this is a show goer, not the band.
I understand that.
The bands have a whole lot more, like they take a lot more liberties, in my opinion.
Why?
Because they're the fucking band that's playing. Everybody's there to see them. I don't care if the venue's paying them or not. They don't work for the venue.
I mean, at that moment they do.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they're a contracted employee for the venue.
They're not a contracted employee. They're there by contract to play. They're not employed. Like if the venue comes up,
same thing.
No.
Potato.
No. Because if the venue is like, we need you guys to clean the bathrooms, they don't clean the fucking bathrooms.
No. Because the contract states what they're there for.
Right, but that's a contract. That's not being an employee.
Okay.
That's a contract. It's like a 1099. If I'm a 1099, I'm not your employee. I'm contracted to do a job for your company.
And during the time of that contract, you're a contracted employee.
I don't view it that way because you can violate your contract at any time you choose.
Sure, you can.
Right.
But
it's your prerogative to do so.
But you don't feel like that's disrespecting the venue to do that. That's what I'm asking you. Obviously they can do whatever they want.
Again, I hold the band in a different fucking it's disrespecting the venue, but that's different than being a showgoer than disrespecting.
I understand that, but I've put showgoers aside now.
Yeah.
I'm asking you because you say about because you said if a venue says no crowd surfing, you will respect.
Right,
that.
because as a audience,
if a venue says before a show no crowd surfing and the singer jumps out and crowd surfs,
don't give a fuck. It's the singers. It's the
disrespectful to the venue, though.
It is
their but it's it's a showgoer's prerogative as well.
Right. But the difference is the rules for a fucking crowd of people need to be adhered to more than the rules that apply to a fucking band.
I would argue a band member jumping off of crowd surfing then is indirectly encouraging the crowd to do
because I believe in fucking, if you're a band, you're fucking rock and roll. It's anti-establishment, anti-rule.
Well, then you should be playing on the street, not in a concert venue.
It doesn't matter. It's your prerogative as the band. I don't fucking
It is
care.
your prerogative.
But
it's your prerogative as a showgoer as well.
But you can, okay, fine, it is. But you can get kicked out of the show. As whatever. But I'm just saying.
But you would be pissed if the venue kicked the band off stage, wouldn't you?
No.
Why?
Because if they made the decision to, the venue's not going to do shit. Maybe afterwards they might find
that.
them. But no, I wouldn't because they chose to break the fucking rule. It's choice. But here's the difference to me, right? If you're a showgoer and you're doing this shit, it can ruin the show for everyone. I've seen them stop fucking shows because some asshole in the crowd is doing it. If the band gets canceled, if they do some shit and cancel, it's fucking on the band. Like they might lose a fan, they might lose whatever, but if the band ruined the shows for me, it's a different light than if the crowd ruins the show for me.
I get that.
It's kind of like
to me, it's more important if the band ruins the show because it's the band.
Yeah, but it's still their prerogative, in my opinion.
Yeah, but
it doesn't.
Everything's everyone's prerogative.
That's true. But like, say I'm going to a movie, right? If the movie fucking sucks, I'm gonna be pissed. I wasted fucking $16. If the movie gets fucked up and stops in the middle of the movie, I'm gonna be pissed, but I'm gonna push for a refund, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll give you a rain check, but if a motherfucker's talking during that movie and it ruins for me,
yeah, but it's different because the movie's not a person up on stage doing this.
I understand, but also at the same time, you've played live shows. You know how it goes. Sometimes in the moment, as a fucking performer, you get lost.
Sometimes as in the audience, you kind of get lost in that shit and you'll go crazy.
That's different.
You go to a punk show, man, you're gonna start moshing sometimes, no matter what the venue said, because you're in it, and that's just what it's mob mentality.
Let me rephrase my stance. band rules supersede venue rules. Showgoers rules do not supersede.
But at that point, you're risking not getting to play at that venue again.
Who cares?
I mean, you should. They're paying you.
It doesn't matter.
It does.
No, because you have a guarantee. If you choose to fuck up the show, and
you do have a guarantee. But if you sign a contract, chances are it's in the contract,
right? I mean, you have venues that are going to try to cancel.
But
no,
to say they're not going to push it is not. That doesn't matter.
But
you violated your contract.
You're putting the band and the crowd in the same fucking bucket. They're very separate.
No. I'm saying by principle, they're both disrespecting the venue.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying.
I would not disagree.
Right, but you're saying
I hold the band to a different standard than I do the crowd.
I do too.
So that's why I don't give a
fuck if they
venue. Respect the venue.
You're being allowed to come play in this venue. I mean, arguably, you wanted to come and play at this venue to make money. Respect the fucking venue.
No,
the crowd is giving the venue money.
Yeah,
give them a little more leeway.
Yeah, no, I disagree. 100,000%.
Customer's always right.
No, they are. Don't even start with that bullshit. No, my whole thing is they're two fucking separate entities, and they are held in my mind to different fucking.
I get it, and I probably would hold, in the scenario would hold it to a different standard. I just think as I'm getting older, I'm thinking more. I think disrespect hits me a little bit differently.
I don't give a shit about the contract. That's my point.
Well, that's a ridiculous thing. If you sign a contract with a venue, you're basically saying I'm going to do what I want, even if you're playing like you have fuck me money.
But
you don't.
But that's what I'm saying. You're putting your livelihood at risk at that point in time.
I understand.
So at that point, what the fuck ever. But to me, again, if a band crowd surfs, or if the band calls out a mosh pit and people mosh, they're going. That's why I say band.
I'll give you this: if I'm in the crowd and a crowd member does something that gets the show shut down, I'm going to be more mad than if the band gets the show shut down. I'm still going to be mad at the band for getting the show shut down.
Am I double standarding the shit out of this thing? Absolutely.
Okay, as long as we have an agreement on that, for sure.
100%. I feel like it's a completely.
But wouldn't you be pissed off at the venue if they said no crowd surfing and you crowd surfed while you were there performing, and then they said I'm not paying you because you violated the contract?
Yeah, I'd be pissed.
Yeah,
but
you would think that was a ridiculous thing and they shouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't think it was ridiculous at all.
I think you would.
No, not if
you'd fall back onto this is rock and roll, man.
I would be, but it's still, but you still
damn the man, save the empire.
But I'm also, when I accept consequences as they come, and so if I chose to do that as a performer, and then the venue had a legitimate leg to stand on for not paying me for the performance, and they chose not to, I'm going to do what I can to push back because I want money, but I'm not going to be like, I can't believe that they did this, because fuck, they have all the right in the world to.
Yeah, because you like money, I don't understand why you wouldn't just not do the things that
I'm not saying I wouldn't. I mean, I've played and I've broken microphones and speakers on stage. I had to pay that shit out of my guarantee. Like, I get it. But I still fucking was drunk as shit, climbed up on a fucking speaker. And I had a fucking 58, dude, that I broke in half. I picked up the fucking little diaphragm and I finished the song with just the fucking thing in my hand with the wires. It was fucking awesome. I lost all of my guarantee plus some out of pocket, but the show is fucking great.
Sure.
So, because to me, that's the other thing. Okay, as the band, you are providing a spectacle that people are there to see. So if you break the rules, it might affect your contract and getting paid, but it's probably gonna build a fan, because people are gonna walk away and talk about how fucking rad it was what you did.
Sure, but if you disrespect the venues, if you continue to disrespect venues, you're gonna run out of venues to play.
Yeah, sure, for sure.
And that's your livelihood. And I get that you're okay with someone,
but you're also trying to take the 10 Commandments as I just read and apply it to everyone. This is
no. I'm not. I'm just strictly thinking about respecting the venue. That's it. Okay. Respecting the venue.
Yeah. And I wouldn't, like, would do my best personally to respect the venue. But if a band doesn't want to, again, I hold the band to a different standard than I do the crowd.
I think I do too. It's just on the different side of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Because you make your money from the crowd. But if the venue didn't allow you to play there, you don't get that money from the crowd.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Yeah, but also, again, like you said, that depends on the contract. Because a lot of times it's riskier guarantee. You don't get the guarantee, but if the show sells out, you're more than likely in your contract going to a place where you still get the percentage of the sales that were above the guarantee. You'll probably lose your guarantee. Is usually how that works.
I would.
You don't forfeit all money. You usually forfeit.
I think I think that you're probably right about that. But
yeah,
anyway, regardless.
Yeah, but especially, well, here's the thing: if you're a young band and you do that shit, yeah, you're gonna run out of places to play. But if you're fucking like Green Day, like they've broken so many shit, but they're fucking huge. Nobody gives a shit.
Sure.
You know, and people like they could go to one venue and they could literally piss on stage, and that venue is like, you will never come back. But the next time they have an opportunity to make a fuck ton of money off that band, they're gonna have them back.
Possibly
90, I'll say 80% of the time.
Quite possibly.
That's a very scientific estimation. That's the word.
Sure.
Estimation. Yeah. Whatever. This is the dumbest fucking argument I think we've ever had on this fucking show.
So,
and I can't help it. You're retarded.
So I was thinking about right wingers, especially QAnon people, the other day. Quanon people, yeah. And I thought,
do they celebrate Kwanzaa?
God, no. Jesus, no.
Not Kwanzaa.
Yeah, no, it's too close.
It's too close.
Too close.
Okay.
It's tangential.
I was just making that holiday up. I think it's a good holiday.
Yeah. QAnonza or Quanonza?
Just Qnanza.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. It's like Qnanza. I got you. Okay. So, but I was thinking about, because I was watching these videos of like the Good Liars and Jordan Klepper that goes and interviews these crazy people.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, because one woman was saying, well, JFK Jr. is going to come back, going to show up and let everybody know that Trump was still president this whole time.
Right.
And all this stuff. And which JFK Jr. is fucking dead. I think he died in 99, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
But I thought to me,
you thought to me,
I thought to me, I says to myself, I says, self, no, I thought to myself, God damn, if JFK Jr. shows up, these people are going to be unbearable.
Yeah.
If they're right about some of this shit, the DC pizza parlor place and if the Satanists eating kids and other, they are,
God damn it.
It's just waste whiskey party.
Yeah, I know.
Foul.
I know. That was a massive party.
Does that not cut the volume to the stream?
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah, that cuts
I was looking at the wrong thing. My bad.
Yeah. So anyway, I
am very upset about what just happened.
I'm sure you are, because for two reasons. You just poured that all over the Roadcaster, and you just spilled 18-year-old
Roadcaster 2, bitch.
No. Oh, is that what oops. No. Anyway, I was just thinking about, these people are going to be unbearable if they're right about just one thing. If they're just right about one thing, they're going to be unbearable to deal with.
And they're almost unbearable now, but both.
Yeah, but if they're right about something, wow.
Yeah.
I think oh my God. You know what? I may move to Canada.
Yeah.
That may be.
I've told you, we're planning on moving out of the fucking country.
You've said that, but you've been saying that for years.
Well, I got to wait till the kids are fucking grown.
You don't have to.
Yeah. Well, okay. I don't have to, but that's the plan.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just take your kids and leave the country.
Right. That would go over super well.
What are they going to do? Maritime law. You're on a boat.
But the more I've thought about it, I think I will move to an Asian country over a European country.
That's probably a bad idea.
Can live like a goddamn king.
Sure.
I'm not talking about China. That'd be fucking terrible.
I know that there are more Asian countries than China.
Just making sure.
Okay.
Well, a lot of people, when you say, "Oh, I'm going to move to Asia," they think, "Oh, you're moving to China or whatever." And like, I'm thinking,
no, I think immediately Taiwan and Japan. That's the two I think of.
See, I'm thinking like Vietnam, or Thailand.
Okay.
Thailand.
You're damn right.
Or India wouldn't be too bad, but
sure.
But yeah,
wrong kind of Asian, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not talking about Asia. It's in Asia.
Yeah.
Yeah. But not. Yeah.
It's not the good kind.
No, because my thought is, dude.
It's like with Indians are the good kind of Middle Easterners, but the bad kind of Asians.
Oh shit. No, my thought was, dude, a clip of that would be fantastic just to throw it on the internet.
Yes, and you'd never let that happen.
No.
You would never let that go out.
I'm just saying,
social media.
What I mean is, if somebody out there just took a snippet of that and got passed around,
sure.
Jesus, we both get fired. If anybody found out well, the funny thing is, like, we don't talk about our jobs. We keep this shit separate. But really, if somebody wanted to, they could find out where we work like this. It would not be difficult at all.
Yeah, that's
Like-
why.
Like my digital footprint, just as if you just based off a normal search for me, is almost non-existent these days. But it doesn't take much to start digging and finding.
Yeah.
You know, like I could find your cell phone number in probably 30 minutes.
Yeah, you just look in your phone.
I'm on the fucking internet, you fucking asshole.
You know, out of all the things that I remember without trying, I don't remember anyone's cell phone except my wife's.
Yeah. I remember,
and my parents, because I grew up there, was my phone.
Dude,
number,
I
but,
remember
like,
my mom's especially because it's the same phone number. We had our landline the whole time we
Yeah.
lived in Fayetteville. She just got it ported to her fucking
like
cell phone.
I'd have my debit card number, expiration date, and CC code on the back memorized without even trying.
Jesus, I don't at all.
Yeah. Anytime if Crystal's ordering something online, she doesn't want to go get her card. She goes, "What's your card number?" And I just spout it out to
That's
her. Like,
crazy.
it is. But I don't know your phone number. I know when your birthday.
Yeah.
I know it's in 6 days.
I don't know any of
But
it.
I don't know what your phone number is.
Dude, I just had a thought for a great question for something for the weekend. Remind me.
Say it now. Let's hash it out now. Let's go ahead and get our
Let's
argument
go and get
set.
our argument set. God damn it. Fuck. And now it's gone. just like that. If I hadn't acknowledged it, it would have stayed. Maybe.
It had to do with like which Asian is the best Asian.
No, it did not.
You know, we say that in jest, but
Just
you know, every race of
they have a
I
hierarchy.
don't know that. Yes,
Every people group has a
Hispanic
hierarchy.
people all have a hierarchy, and
Yeah.
I think Puerto Ricans are at the bottom.
Haitians are at the bottom.
Huh. I would think that Haitians
it's
would
Haitians.
fall under black rather than Hispanic,
Ooh,
even though they
I
do
might be
speak
right.
Spanish.
I had a buddy of mine. He was from Puerto Rico, and there was somebody under them, and I don't remember because I asked him about this
Maybe it's
whole.
Cubans, maybe.
Maybe it was something weird like that. But
Probably
yeah, there was there was this, yeah. He told me about their whole hierarchy.
Oh
and I
yeah,
was like,
every
holy
race
shit.
has a hierarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like but
I always like to not leave out the ER and just say hierarchy. It makes me
hierarchy.
happy.
Yeah, yeah.
Hierarchy sounds much more inconvenient for my mouth to say.
It is. It is. You have trouble with words anyway.
Hierarchy.
Yeah, it's I have to. Honest to God, in my job, I use the word hierarchy quite a bit.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I use the word "fuck you." that's no, like I'm honestly wondering with the position I'm currently in. Like, I feel like I will either flourish or I will get fired because there's a lot less leniency of other positions I've had in the past from my mouth. So
I see.
We shall see.
Sure. What are you gonna do if that happens?
I'll figure
Move back
something
to
out.
Knoxville?
No, I'll
go
probably,
back to your other job.
I'll bullshit my way into something else, just like I always do.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, okay.
God.
Out of all the people you know, no, not who you. I mean, you don't even like me, but that you would consider friends. Like, how many people do you know have bullshitted their way into jobs or positions like I have?
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
it's just like
fucking. Skill.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know anyone that has bullshitted their way into more women's beds than my stepbrother.
Yeah, yeah. I'd be a close second, I think, or not even a close, maybe a distant second, because
but that's the thing is, I don't consider you to have bullshitted your way into it.
Okay,
I think you were straight up just take me or leave me kind of thing.
Yeah, I think so.
He's straight up just like, "Hey, baby, what's going on?" You're like,
but I will.
He goes
say,
after it. Now
I
do
will
have.
say
There
that.
is a guy at the office that I've seen him with some top shelf stuff, and he is not at all top shelf.
Yeah, I got you. Well, to me too, like for me, it's never been brutally honest. It was like we were saying on the show the other day.
I don't care.
Really good I don't care, but I'm also really good at manipulating people.
Oh yeah,
which people thought that was awful. But my thing is like, no, because at the end of the day, even if I manipulate you, you think it's your idea, and as long as it's your idea,
well, that's called gaslighting.
No, that's not gaslighting.
Okay, making someone think that what they think is not real.
No, that's a whole different thing because it is real when you think of it. No, gaslighting is basically making you question your own reality.
Yeah,
and
you've made them question that they don't want to sleep with you. Now they do.
They don't question it.
They do it first.
No, they don't question it. No. The thing goes, it's either like, because if somebody's like, no, I'm not interested, I leave it the fuck alone. But the play is, if they like you at all, you just make the play, and eventually like, you know what? Yeah, I think I'd like to do that. But it's not like do I not want to do this? Why do I should? No. It's a slow play. It's kind of like a really, really long debate. debate that you eventually win. Like that's probably a more accurate way. Not even a really, really long debate, but just a matter of it's like convincing. It's like convincing. Yeah. It's like you can say, I don't like whiskey very much. And then I kind of introduce you to things that are a little more like whiskey. And eventually, then by the time you build up to that, you have the whiskey. You're like, oh, fuck, that was good whiskey. And then you drink a lot of it and have a hangover. You're like, fuck whiskey. That's basically the evolution that I take with most of my relationships. It's like, oh, fuck, this whiskey's awesome. It makes me feel good. And then it's like, well, fuck this. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I feel like because manipulation and gaslighting are two completely different things.
No, they are two completely different things. I just think in that scenario they were walking hand in hand.
Nah, I don't think so.
All right.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Because I never make him feel like you're wrong. You're crazy. What's wrong with you? This is dumb. Like there's never any of that. Never any of that.
Okay.
It's completely manipulating the course of the conversation to get to the desired result.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so that's how I roll. Too deep, one in the pocket.
What else you got?
Fuck, not a lot. I mean,
remember that question?
Fuck, dude, I haven't even been thinking of that question now.
Right, but that's why I thought if I sprung it on you, you might just be there.
Oh God, no! I'm so far gone from that.
Oh,
like
okay.
that's not even thought in my.
I'm still hung up on the fact that you poured half a glass of 18-year-old.
It was not half. It was not half a glass.
I mean, there was a lot of whiskey that was on that road.
It wouldn't have dried that fast if it was half a glass.
You wiped a lot of it off.
No, I didn't.
All right.
You're fucking crazy. What were you looking
you know what? This
was
show can be summed up as two people trying to gaslight each other nonstop. that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? That didn't happen.
Oh God.
And even if it did, it wouldn't have happened had you not been distracting me with some shit. I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's your fucking fault.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude, we're not even. We're like an hour and a half into this shit.
Yeah. So.
You know,
that's the beauty of this. We can stop whenever we want.
This is true.
We can go as long as we want.
Yeah,
we can stop.
It's weird though. Like I still have this thing in my brain, like, it needs to be 2 hours, but it doesn't. It doesn't
have to be 2 hours
because it was for so long at a minimum.
Sure,
but here's a question.
Yep.
So we do this monthly now.
Yep.
Would you want to start other than the special episode we have coming up, which is going to have fucking Jane Nielsen and Anders Ericsson back on? And it's probably going to be a shit show of an episode, but it's going to be an in-person. Do you think we should start having guests back on again occasionally?
I've been thinking about it recently.
Same. But I want to get some different kind. Like, not that I'm against having other podcasts. We've made some good acquaintances, some good allies along the way. But I want to see if we can branch out and get some other types of guests.
You know, Andy Harris's wife just wrote a book, just released a book about being a step parent.
You want her on this show so bad.
No, I was just thinking about who we've had in the past.
I know.
That isn't another podcast.
I know, but I'm just saying you wanted her on this show so bad.
Yeah, I think she's fun and funny. She also got fired from the podcast I listened to.
What do you know what happened about that? Like, I saw it, but I didn't pay attention.
Just let everyone go.
Yeah,
from that show. Let the two people that were like the sidekicks. He just was going a different direction with the show. And to be perfectly honest with you, because I've been a loyal listener to that podcast for 14 years.
Yeah.
Well, before it was a podcast, when it was a radio show. And the format didn't change at all. He just doesn't have two people that are sidekicks anymore.
Yeah.
He basically just has whoever's his guests are stay on the whole show as like a sidekick. But anyway.
Yeah. Which actually that makes me think of it's very weird. Like other than this show, which we've managed to do this monthly for a while, but I'm sure there's going to be times that we're not. And it's just going to be whenever we feel like doing it. But
sure.
I've really kind of accepted and walked into this like weird sidekick role that I've achieved with different shows. Like,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah, like you call it a co-host, but I'm kind of a sidekick. Like even with something for the weekend, it's y'all's show. I'm part of the show. I'm a co-host of the show, but I'm kind of just there as a little garnish. Like that's kind of
I mean, I think it's the same. It's just that you don't
care.
No. That goes without saying. No, you don't want to host that show.
No.
Which is nothing different except you introduce everyone.
Yeah, and that's a pain in the dick. And you have to hit like fucking start and set.
No, you don't.
Really?
Even when Andre hosts, I do all of that.
Okay.
I do everything. All you literally do is show up on the screen first and introduce everyone.
I feel like that me introducing people, that's the only time it'd be difficult for me to edit my language. I feel like that'd be the hardest.
Really?
Yeah. But I think I've only let
put a teleprompter right in front of you. Right? Just type it out.
I think I've only let 2 fucks fly though. I think I've done.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Like not this last episode, but the one before. I think.
Yeah, I mean, you've let some fucks fly, but you've said, "Come, bang."
Are those aren't cuss words?
No, it's vulgar though. Talking about coming is vulgar.
Well, I'm a vulgar motherfucker.
I understand
but that's different than cursing.
It is different than I mean, it's
okay. Has anybody said anything about my language?
No one says anything about anything.
Well, there you go.
But that doesn't mean that it first off, if anyone had anything to say, it would go to Andre before. Right. It wouldn't come to me.
Because see, I was told that the profanity needs to be kept to a minimum.
Curbed. Yeah, but I guess I include vulgarity and profanity together.
Well,
and I should
told me that.
No, I told you.
Cum stain.
I told you. You don't remember, but I told you. I don't remember. Yeah, no, I told you. I said that.
Yeah,
you remember.
I will say though that I've given some pretty good goddamn questions the last couple of like I reworded your and like T's argument about some shit that made it a little more palatable.
You did it, but you reworded it because you didn't want to see us argue anymore.
No, not at all. I feel like I have a good question for this next time around. Everybody seems to have liked it.
Sure.
It's really just a chance for me to shit on things that I think.
Well, it's a good opportunity for you to host. It's your question.
Fuck you. Fuck you. I don't want to. It's a responsibility I don't want to have.
It's not. There's no more responsibility.
So here's the thing, though. That's not even a thing. But, it's funny because I say a lot, and you know this about me well enough, for things like this show, or for something for the weekend, or for Pop Culture Warrior. Like, I say I don't give a fuck. And I don't as far as prep goes, but I want it to go well while I'm on because I want to look good.
Yeah, so why wouldn't you prep so that it looks better while you're on?
Because I look better when I don't prep.
I disagree.
You've never seen me prep.
That's not true. You prepped a couple of times a little, and it went better than when you didn't prep.
No, it didn't.
Yes,
Name 2 times I prepped for sure.
You prepped a little bit for the David Weiss thing.
How did I prep for the David Weiss thing?
You looked into him more than most.
Yeah, I looked into him a little bit just because I want to know what his style was, and then because I was trying to decide, do I want to be confrontational or just agree and let it flow?
But that's prep.
Yeah, no, that's prep. But
that show went great.
God damn it! But yeah, but I would have. But it would have been the same either way. Honestly,
maybe we'll never.
But
know.
I haven't. But I don't consider that doing research.
That's who I want to have.
Curiosity. We should have it. He'll come back on.
Will he? Will he come to in person?
Oh, that would be so much
I don't even know
fun.
where he's at. I don't know where he lives. I want to say it's in the Southwest.
Yeah, I'll reach out to him. Like you don't care?
I mean, I'm fine either way.
Dude, if we could do an in-person with David Weiss, that would be so much fun.
I would film from the airplane window the entire flight.
Yeah.
And just play it in the background, like green screen, a flight.
My thought,
looks like a curve.
My thought with that would be to get him shit-faced. Like, how much fun would that be get him shit-faced? Which my thought with that is to get something like that shit-faced enough to be like, oh yeah, I'm just saying this so I can be in the limelight. I really don't give a fuck.
You wouldn't believe that flat pussy out there.
Which is weird because that actually just brought a thought into my brain, because stereotypically, and I can't say this from experience, but from anecdotal experience from people I've known, that the guys that have managed to talk like church girls into hooking up with them, they're like freakier than shit because they have all this like repressed.
The church girls are, or the
church girls
for sure.
Yeah, because they're so repressed.
That's why it's always like a pastor's kid's always the craziest, most slutty person.
It's all this
male or female.
All this repressed shit that comes up, and it's not that they're like initially like that, but it's very easy to open that fucking can.
Oh yeah, it's Pandora's box once you open it up.
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly. Anyway, I've always found that to be very like it's the same way priests fuck kids.
All right,
just saying. Well, because all the shit is repressed, and so it just like comes out in the form of like dicks and tiny buttholes. Or mouths,
sure,
or hands. Like I don't know how it all works.
No, I don't.
I mean, I know how it works, but I don't know how they get there. That's I guess what I. Well, I also know how they get there. So whatever.
The only thing about the Catholic Church that I have learned is Benny taught, which was that they are not responsible for nearly as many atrocities as we thought.
I really wanted to dig into that so bad.
I think that they quit.
Did they?
I mean, they haven't done a show in months.
Yeah,
and I don't know if they just take.
And that's the thing. But the funny thing is with conversations like that, and this about me, is I enjoy talking about them, but I don't take offense and I don't take it seriously enough. Like it irked. The only thing that like with that irked me, and I shouldn't even say well, it irked me. It didn't really get under my skin, but I'm like, dude, where you're talking from is just it's out your ass. Like you're regurgitating shit. So it's more of just I enjoy spitting things out that I know is going to offend or upset the other person.
Sure.
Yeah, because it spins me up when people are just I don't know. I don't even know how to verbalize. I don't know. It's just I think when somebody says some shit that I think is so fucking stupid, it pisses it annoys me. That's the thing.
Sure.
So and I like to stomp on that shit because I feel like that he could have probably argued obviously Catholicism much better than I have, but as far as like, when he looked up that shit, it was like, oh, well, it was the atrocities in war and this and that. And I was like, oh, you're not talking about like peasants they killed or kids they've raped or
sure.
whatever. Get me fired up on that shit, Joey.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest problems, honestly, that I have with the church outside of pushing like indoctrinating and all that shit is the rampant amount of sexual abuse that exists, not just in the Catholic Church. Like, I feel like they're more known for fucking kids, but there's way more like other shit that goes on around all the other whatever. You're bored.
I'm
done.
not.
You're tired.
I'm not tired.
You're letting me spin my.
I'm letting
myself out.
Yeah. I mean, I've nothing to say that I haven't said already about.
Yeah. And same. I'm saying all the same shit that I say all the time.
Sure.
Anyway, like, do you ever feel like with this show that we just repeat ourselves or regurgitate the same shit in with different angles?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. Do you ever think the show should have been way more popular than it is?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, me too.
For sure. What I was thinking about just a moment ago was how every podcast that we've buddied up with, for lack of a better term, except for something in the 90s, have all like quit doing. Two Brothers podcast. They don't do that anymore.
Yeah. Trevor still goes though.
But Dim Jackson Boys don't do that anymore.
Yeah. Which, by the way, if Trevor watches this, fuck Trevor for not having me on his show. I love him. I love the motherfucker to death.
Yeah. No, fuck him for not having me on his show.
Well, you're not as cool as me, so it doesn't matter.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
That's fine.
You're not as edgy as I am. But here's the thing, you are. But people don't get the fact that you're joking half the time. You spit this dry shit out and people are like, oh, but you're joking and you don't believe half the shit that comes out of your own mouth.
No. And that is an interesting statement because I've been thinking about that for about a week now. Right. Because I've been thinking about the things I say.
Right.
And because I was asked one time, is that really how you are? And I was asked that by my wife. Are you truly that way? Do you truly believe the things you say? And I was like, that's 100% me. You're here 100% me. And I got to thinking about it. I'm like, that's a misrepresentation. I didn't mean it.
Yeah.
It's 100% my sense of humor and how I like to say things to get a reaction or shock or makes my laugh or whatever. But no, I don't always believe the things I say.
And that's the funny thing. One of the differences, I've known you long enough that I usually know, unless I'm in the middle of like some fucking rant, like I don't pick up on it sometimes, but I know when you're just spitting some shit, but you say everything like you fucking mean it. Like that's the thing. It's this very dry, calm delivery. But there's even still sometimes that it catches me the fuck off.
I know, and I purposely do that. I'll let you get going into something, and I'll just shoot something in there.
I know you do,
and
I know after the fact, but in the middle of it, I'm just like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And then after, I'm like, "You fucking." How many times after a show
I know
have we stopped recording? I've been like, "You're such a fucking dick." Because especially, with me, I get so wound up over shit.
Sure.
I'll talk over myself, behind myself, to the side. I get all over the fucking place, and you like that. You like me making myself look like a fucking tool.
I mean, but early on in this show, I kind of just settled into what my role is.
And same.
Yeah.
Like, basically, you set me the fuck up and I overreact.
Well, here's the thing. I like to believe that you didn't settle into what your role is. I settled you into your role.
Really?
I feel like
we
both started out the same way. And I feel like I was just like, it's way more entertaining if I get him worked up and then I just say asinine shit that works him up even more or throws him off. And I
felt like that I got us there. I felt like I got us there. So that just shows how cockily pretentious we both are.
Sure. But I think one difference is between the two of us is I was actively trying to do that.
Okay.
And I think you came in after the fact and was like, oh yeah, I kind of settled us into this.
Yeah. I just feel like that everything that gets to a certain way, I probably had a hand in it somehow. So, because like my goal is I don't have goals. Like I just come in and let things fall where
Sure.
where they fall. So I just assume that the natural order of things occurs as I come in with shit.
Yeah. There was one more thing I was fixing to say and then get out of here, and I cannot now remember what it was. But, yeah. Anyway, whatever. God, it was good too.
Yeah. Oh, I just thought of a different question for something for the weekend. Is it ever okay to hit a woman?
Ooh, that is a good question.
Yeah.
That is a good question.
Yeah.
Because you can really argue. You can really argue either way.
Yeah.
Like really hardcore.
And you could also get that like people would get riled the fuck up over that.
Yeah.
Equal rights, equal fights.
Equal rights, equal lefts.
Yeah.
No, that's
you should put that in the chat at some point because I will forget.
Okay. I'll try to remember that.
Anyway.
My thing is like, does it, if you're a man who's pro woman, should you hit a woman as quickly as you would hit a guy?
Okay.
Because if it's equality, you should treat equally.
That's an argument. That's a
no, I understand that. I'm just saying, like, I've had that conversation at home before with like Matthew and Krista or whatever. Just like, cause it's like, I would probably never hit a woman, but there is probably a scenario where I would, right?
Yeah.
If my life depends on it, if somebody I love's life
respect the venue, motherfucker.
Right. Right. Get the fuck off of that guy's shoulders.
Right.
And so that's
dude, that made me think of Lyric, and I had one of the most like weirdly intelligent conversations I've had with her. And she was talking about because there's so many of these old emo bands and poker bands that are getting hit up for like sexual misconduct allegations with underage girls. And she was like, I understand that, and it's really awful. She goes, but like somebody that she like got accused of got run through the ringer because people were throwing like their panties on stage, and he was like basically just kept a treasure chest of these and but just do weird shit with them, like throw them back out in the crowds, like just being a weird, whatever.
That's not weird at all, though.
No. But she was like, I don't understand. She goes, girls get up and they'll flash their boobs at the band. They don't know how old the girls are. If they throw the bras up, they don't know how old the girls are. Like, so how can they be held accountable for like looking at a naked underage girl if they don't know how old she is?
It's different if he pulls his phone out of his pocket and goes,
But even if that he doesn't know how old she is, like there's no way. No, granted, that's a terrible idea. Common sense would say not to.
Yeah.
But regardless of that, like there's no way to know. And granted, we're old enough now, but like, I just wouldn't do that shit because it's stupid. But at like fucking 20 something,
even now, until you're in that position, you really don't know how you're going to react.
But I was surprised because as her echo chamber is as liberal as they are, she was like, I don't understand why they would get in trouble for something like that. She was like, I would understand if he put hands on somebody.
I don't understand why anyone's held responsible for even having sex with someone underage that lied to them, unless obviously clearly a 10-year-old saying, no, I'm 21. Right. I'm just saying, like, let's just say a 16-year-old tells a 21-year-old, I'm 18.
And they have no idea.
Obviously it's going to be your word against theirs if the minor decides to lie and say they never said that. But I'm just saying, like, if it's proof that they said that, you should not be held responsible for that.
Well, I would distinguish between like the venue. If it's a groupie, right, and you're at an all ages show, you don't fucking roll those dice.
No, but if you're at a show to see an ID. Because in this day and age, there's fake IDs that are...
No, but what I'm saying is, I think in that scenario at an all-ages show, you don't even roll those fucking dice. That's my point.
You don't bang a groupie at those shows.
Yeah, at those shows. I think it's smart. But if you're playing a 21 and up, then how are you held accountable if they were in the show and were labeled? Then it's a failure. Then at that point, I feel like almost the venue, whoever was checking IDs, is responsible.
Well, they are responsible for that. But
they're not responsible for the statutory.
No.
But I'm saying they should
be
like there should be some accountability.
But who's to say a 16-year-old that's a fan of the band didn't wait outside the venue afterwards to try to talk to the band afterwards to get on the bus?
Exactly.
And they weren't in the venue.
Well, it's all a slippery slope. Like I get that. Like to me, at these days as a band, it's smart just to like not bang any groupies after shows or social media. But
do all this shit. Next thing you know, jackboot thugs are breaking in your house and telling you can't have sex with your wife unless she says yes and signs a document. America. Where's my boomstick?
I've got nothing for that.
No,
that was fantastic. I think that's a good note to go out on.
Okay.
What were you gonna say?
I was. It got me thinking because you're talking about.
Oh God damn it!
Well, it did. So
just don't tell the story.
My wife and I started watching. No. We started watching this new docuseries that came out on Netflix called "Don't Pick Up the Phone." It's a 3-part docuseries about a guy who was calling fast food restaurants and telling them, "I'm with the local police department, and we're going to send somebody over there because there's been a customer's coming to the police department and accused one of your employees of stealing from them."
Right.
And I feel like that you fucked something up majorly because I'm not this. I don't know. Anyway,
you're not what?
I barely hear myself anymore, and nothing. I've not touched the levels, but
maybe I broke it.
Yeah, you'd love that.
I don't hear you very loudly either.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what the deal is. So
I mean, I hear you well enough. Don't turn your fucking levels
up. I will
up.
do what I want.
Turn your headphones up, you fucking asshole.
I wanted to see if it changed much. That's why I did that. But
you're on one.
Yeah, I am on one, and I turned it up a little bit.
Is that better?
It is better now.
Okay,
I just didn't want to turn up that far to start with. Regardless, this guy was calling these fast food restaurants and saying, "I'm with the police department. Somebody's been accused of stealing." They said it was a girl, and he even did to a guy a couple of times, like a route about 5'5", 5'6" or so.
Right.
Basically, a very vague description of
the norm. Yeah.
That what anyone could look.
Could have been anybody. Yeah.
And they would say, "Can you?" Do they? Yep, they're here. It's so and so, and they would get them back into the office, and they would say, "So this is what we can do. We can come get you, but it's going to be a little bit before we can get somebody there, or you can just conduct the strip search there."
Right.
And they would get the manager on duty, and the person would consent to doing that.
Right.
And God, now you're hot. It's fine.
I just got right up on the mic.
Yeah, but anyway, and it would start out very slow. But I'm talking, this would be like a 2 or 3 hour long on the phone with this cop, and they would get people to completely nude in the office of McDonald's.
Yeah,
and then the guy on the phone would say, like, "All right, so that there's no you need to actually search," and they would have them bending over, they'd be spreading butt cheeks, sticking fingers up in places, and then have them doing jumping jacks and all kinds of. One woman at a McDonald's said, I've got to get back out in here and run this restaurant. And he said, "Is there anyone else there that you trust that can sit with this person until we can get somebody there?" And she was like, I could probably get my fiance. And she calls her fiance. Her fiance comes to the store, goes back into the office, and sits with a nude 18-year-old girl.
Jesus.
And then he's on the phone with a person.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "Okay, well, we need to keep doing this." And he talks to me. He gets to the point where he gets the guy to get her to blow him.
Jesus.
And then.
Okay, that's terrible. Hold on. But also impressive.
It's a guy on the phone.
Yeah.
The girl does it because she's afraid of getting in trouble or whatever. And the guy in the restaurant that gets her to blow, he actually ends up going to jail.
Yeah, for sure.
For it. As he should, right? Yeah. And the woman gets probation or whatever. But this went on. Somebody finally started investigating it. And this was in 2004. They started investigating and found out that this guy had been doing it since 94 at like 80 different fast food restaurants all over the country.
Wow.
And the guy, they finally caught him. He goes to court and he's found not guilty.
What?
And it's completely free from it.
Damn.
It's an insane thing. We were watching that and going like, no way in fucking hell am I doing that. And if I'm one of the kids, young adults, whatever, being told to do that, I'm going, just tell them, come on. I'll sit and wait. Just tell the police, like, maybe I'll take my shoes and socks off for you and I'll empty my pockets. Yeah. Maybe I'll do that or whatever. And if it's not there, and they're like,
what's crazy to me is it's just on the phone. That's the insane thing. Like if a cop would call me and was like that, I'd be like, no, fuck you. You can come here.
It's more believable in 94 when shit like this didn't really happen, but it's still very unbelievable.
But still, even as a kid that young, if somebody on the phone was like, you need to take your clothes off, I'd be like, nah, bro. Like if a cop shows up, and even then I'm like, okay, this is getting weird.
There's a couple of different people that's like, a guy walked into like a pizza place, whatever. He came into the office and the girl was fixing to like take her shirt off with the manager on duty or whatever. And he was like, whoa, what's going on? And the guy was like, there's a policeman on the phone that is saying this and this, and the guy picked the phone and was like, hey, fuck you, man, come here if you want her, and hung the phone up or whatever. And it's like, you probably just kept that girl from getting molested.
But here's the thing I don't understand. Like, and maybe you said this and I just fucking missed it because I was doing something else.
Yeah.
So he's on the phone doing this. Like, are they saying they have access to like a camera that's in there where they can see what's going on?
No.
Then how?
The guy he looks like an idiot, but it must have been excellent at psychologically manipulating.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, if somebody calls me, like a police officer, says, I need you to strip down because we need to see this. I'm like, how are you seeing it?
No. He's saying we need to see if they have the money on them that they're being accused of stealing.
Right, but who's in there with them? Nobody.
The manager. The manager having them.
Gotcha. I misunderstood.
The quote cop on the phone is on the phone with a manager.
That's the part I missed.
And the manager's relaying the information to the employee.
Gotcha. I thought they were talking to the employee.
Now,
I got you.
They did it first to establish I'm a police officer.
Right. No, I got you.
And you're in trouble. And then the manager would say, all right, he's saying you need to take your bra off.
Okay. No, I'm tracking now. For some reason I
got you.
I thought they were talking to the employee, and I'm like, the fuck?
That one guy that was saved and found not guilty of doing anything was because when he was talking to the girl and she said, can you at least cover the camera? There's a security camera. And he said, can you at least cover that camera so that I'm not naked? Right. And he said, absolutely not. I will not cover that camera. And so it shows like his video footage that he's not doing anything except on the phone and telling her to do whatever.
That's crazy.
He didn't get her to do anything physical with him, but that one dude, first off, that he could get the guy to tell this 18-year-old girl to give, all right, he's saying you got to suck my dick now.
Right.
And that she would do it.
Right. That's so weird.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a good note to go out on.
She ended up suing McDonald's for $200 million to make a statement. And I think she ended up getting $2 million. But still regardless.
I'd suck a dick for $2 million.
Yeah. So don't don't pick up the phone. Don't just strip in the back office unless you're getting paid.
I'm just saying, if for some reason I accidentally sucked your dick and I could sue your company for $20 million saying that he coerced me and I could walk away with $2 million, it'd be totally worth sucking your dick for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I think that's the note to leave on. Like, sucking a dick is well worth $2 million.
I mean, I've told my wife that a bunch of times.
That's my takeaway.
All right.
All right.
Until sometime.
Yeah. And whenever we start doing this again.
Maybe about a month.
Yeah, probably. We've been trying to do it on a monthly basis, like consistently, like the end of the month. So they're probably the end of March, and then hopefully we'll have something super special at the end of April.
We hope. We've been invited to Jay's house to do a show.
We'll
won't be live. But
it might be. I'll have to do some speed tests and check some shit.
Don't
because
I think we're asking for the possibility of too much trouble.
I know I can do it on the fucking sly.
That's not what I'm talking about.
I know. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, I do.
All right.
I'd hate for this show to kill somebody.
All right.
At least their career.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Until next time. Fuck
bye.
Off.